Okay. Welcome back, everybody. Take a little peek here at where we left off last time. So, after many trials and tribulations, you have begun to ascend the mountain once more to confront Devon Yord. Um, you found him after, overcoming the storm of Zeus. You found your way to the tippy top of the mountain and let Ed sort of take the lead, take the reins on speaking to this individual. Yvonne seems to have concocted a very interesting plan. As his brother appears, he tells him that he has essentially, during all this time, created the super weapon that his father, well, his and Ed's father had originally developed. It was with great difficulty that he did this, but with the intention of being able to study the energy signature that the device creates so that he could create a shielding counter to it and then destroy all evidence of the weapon to essentially create a counter, a reversal, a protection for this device that was created by his father, feeling some responsibility to right his father's wrongs. Um, the party wasn't too enthusiastic about Yvonne's attempt at being a good guy, considering that he schemed and lied his whole way through gaining the resources to do all of this and then developing a miniature super weapon, which Ed seems very interested in strapping onto the front of the ship. Um, During all of the debate, uh, the prophecy that was originally brought up was brought up so again by your lovely demigod Callistra. Um, and as the debate continued and tempers were flared here and there, Basan ready to cut Yvonne down in the room, and others trying to figure out what to do. It seemed that running out of patience, Callistra slyly cast a little intention towards Etharrith and called forth powers you did not know she had. She um, placed some curse upon Yvonne and began to make him wander towards the balcony edge of this very high top mountain, which is where we pick up our wonderful game today. So, I will repeat, she cast a hex upon Yvonne, and as he turned around, she sort of brought her hand forward in a sort of grasping motion. He seemed almost to lose faculty of his body and cast him towards the open door and open balcony where he stumbles toward at this moment. Um, this is supposed to be an in the moment tense moment, but there has been 2 weeks to consider. So during this 2 weeks to consider, um, as he begins to be pulled in that direction, what do any of you do, if anything?
Etharrith kind of sees what Callista's doing. She basically kind of basically just told him that she was, how about this? Etharrith just kind of slowly turns his head away as if he didn't see anything.
Oh, nice, classic. Uh, Basan,
Let me.
let him read the story.
Da 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 da. Do I have it? I don't. Um, is Saeed's which Yord brother is Saeed close to?
Um, well, that's inconvenient. I don't have the mark out. I'm gonna say he's close to Vaughn, and he's not a very I think he's just yeah, he's close to Vaughn, but he's just kind of watching the scene. He isn't really interfering.
Bisan's gonna go get kind of close to him and in his ear and in Gith say, Has your dragon eaten?
He's watching this. He's like, what? What are you talking about? Um, like he's kind of flabbergasted by the scene. You're like, hey, so how's your dragon doing? He's like, what? What?
No.
No, I don't know.
Has your dragon eaten?
I maybe I don't know. I haven't talked to him all day. We've been climbing this mountain.
Maybe you should ask if he's hungry. And she'll sit
Uh,
and she just steps back.
Okay, you step back. It's just, I think he's just flabbergasted. He's like, what's that all about? He just kind of goes back to watching the scene. This is a very shocking moment, and he maybe is like a little drawn in by the moment. There's also a humongous, deathly lightning storm surrounding the mountain right now. Maybe the dragon can get through, but he's watching the scene. Um, and last but not least, Arendelle, you you know what's happening here. Some curse, some hex been placed on Yvonne as he stumbles helplessly toward the balcony. Do you do anything?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cast command on Ed. Cast command on Ed Jord.
Okay. All right, go ahead. What is the command?
It's just one word, isn't it? Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I use the command halt, so that he stays in place.
Got it. Yeah, he's like, oh no, bro. And then so he just like can't move, and he looks over, and you say halt, and by the power of kings, you command him not to move, and he looks at you with this look of like desperation and betrayal, as Yvonne, oh no, walks toward the edge, and though none of you have a sight line on it, you hear the sort of snapping of well, not, they're actually made of metal, so they won't snap, but you do hear the sound of sort of metal knee or stone knees hitting metal, and the sort of slip of the foot, and the as Yvonne helplessly falls through the sky down into the lightning storm below and the crag rocked mountains. Uh, there is little to no chance that Yvonne would survive, that anyone would survive. Yvonne is halted. I think Callistra will sort of walk out onto the boundary. And I don't know, Disney villain-esque, like look down to the side. Um, she's got a dramatic side. She'll say, Lord Zeus, great balancer of all things, we offer you this sacrifice, and Lady Hecate, your prophecy has been made whole. And there's a sort of final crash of lightning and thunder, almost blindingly so from the windows, as you do feel the sort of thrum and thunder begin to quell. Zeus has been appeased. Yvonne has paid for his treachery. And Hecate's prophecy has come true, one or the other. That's the trick to having your prophecies come true. Just prophesize all of it. All possibilities.
Prophesize both ways and we'll get there one way or another.
Yeah. There's a future where you live and a future where you die. Oh, really? No way.
And if one comes true, I'm right.
Whoa.
Whoa.
How did you know?
How did Hecate know?
So this contraption that we're in is a balloon, yes?
You're
Or has a
essentially,
balloon?
in modern day terms, you're essentially standing in a hot air balloon, except the basket is like a full facility.
A house, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to find a way. I'm gonna concentrate on command as long as it's not concentrate.
The
Yeah, I
command is
want
only for one turn.
Yeah, it is one time, isn't it?
Yeah.
So while it is Ed still halted, or would
Yeah.
he have now?
Well, if we're playing into the initiative, you would have another turn now. You'd have another 6 seconds. So the sequence of event is like we went through an initiative order. No one stopped Yvonne, and in fact, instead stopped Ed. Yvonne fell. Now there would be like another initiative pass now. So you have another turn opportunity to do something.
Okay. I'll walk over to Ed.
Okay.
Um,
There's like, no.
Ed, I'm sorry about your brother. There is no way that we can not fulfill our duty by giving back what is theirs. I understand your position, and believe me, if I was in the same position with my brother, I may have felt the same. I was never in that position though. I cannot put the rest of this crew's life in danger for a fleeting glance of what you may think is justice. But it's not.
He just like turns to you, angry in the face. His brother just died. This is the last of his family. His brother just died before his eyes, and you sense there's no words that can make this moment right. Um, and he just says, like, he just starts, you killed my brother, like, what the fuck, I can't, and he just kind of starts losing it. The spell wears off at this point. He's free. He'll kind of run to the side of the balcony and look over, try and find any sign of his brother, and there is no sign. And he just kind of falls to his knees at the side of the banister and kind of uh just starts kind of like blubbering a bit to himself, in anger and sadness. It's rough. He's talked to his brother all this time, and now his brother has been killed, and none of you did it, but none of you stopped it either. And it had to be done in many of your eyes, but nonetheless, it's a dark moment.
Bisan would like to go to Etharrith and very quietly say, we still haven't done our job. Our job wasn't to kill him. Our job was to keep his body from the prophet. Can you call the priests to take his body?
I I'll I'll go down there myself and see and see if I can't find it.
You, by the way, at this point would hear through the telepathic link, Vivara would say, "You should know the storm has quieted. It's receding."
And time is of the essence. And well, truth be told, sister, I. Oh wait, no, that was That's
That
not.
was
Is that
Vivara. That was
Oh,
the
Yeah,
Vivara, never mind. Yeah, Vivara. No, never mind. Next that understood.
Yeah, she has no context for what's going on. She just
Yeah.
informs you that the storm's receding.
Do I still have my?
which you've seen, and there's which you've seen the body fall.
Yeah.
You can ask her. You're
Ether,
linked to her, so you could have been like, "Hey, did you like see anything?"
Oh,
Etharith
we're all
will.
linked.
Oh,
Are we, or is it just effort?
Yeah, this is a telepathic like
Right.
link, and
Okay.
you're all on the group
B-
call.
Bisan
she
will
will. She'll know that. Oh no, never mind. Vaughn wasn't part of the link.
I'll look up the
Hmm.
specifics, but I'm pretty sure it's like everybody's a part of it. Um, Here we go. Telepathic bond, enabling creatures within range, psychically link each creature to all others for the duration. Until the spell ends, targets can communicate telepathically to the bond, whether or not they have common language. Communication is possible over any distance, though can extend to other planes. So it's not like you can pick and choose who's hearing what at what time. Everybody's in this link. If you're using the
Hmm.
telepathy, everyone's on the call.
Okay. So hearing that, I'll just look over and just say, will you look for the body of our mom? We need to make sure it's safe and kept between us or to us. So find it and we shove it down shortly. Or as
Etharith's
quick as
just
we can.
gonna walk to the balcony and use Mydroconic flight to fly down and try and find it.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. It's a long fall, and it is a big mountain, and there's a lot of spines and spires. I'll tell you what, Etherith, I want you to make me I'll I'll say either a medicine or an insight check.
I'll leave
Your
insight.
choice.
I was going to say, before you do anything like that, I've got what is it called?
Well, this is stepping up to the balcony. This
Uh,
isn't the actual investigation.
yeah, I've got Windwalk, so I can take us all down in gaseous form if
Okay.
need.
Well, before
Yeah,
that happens, Etherith,
yeah,
complete your
yeah,
check.
Yeah, 16.
16. You look down and you see, like, first off, the storm, and you think that there's two major ways that that body was damaged. It's an and or. It could have been both. The first of which is lightning, and lightning burns, especially from this kind of lightning, would mar the skin, probably break stone, even for Johnson. As for the mountainside, the like sharp spines and spires of the mountain would have probably ripped the body apart. Like you don't have eyes on it, you can't be sure, but it would be impressive if the skin, I'm like the body above the surface, the body's still intact. It would be a divine miracle that the skin was still unmarred and the markings were still legible after such an immense and damaging fall. It might be good to be safe, but the chances of tattoos or markings on his body still being legible after that fall, very slim. At least the whole picture. There's bits and pieces, sure, but
If I kind of step away from the balcony, I don't think it will be necessary to find it.
You know what we're fighting? You know their ability to put things together. If you don't think it is an issue, then it must not be an issue. And she'll step back. We need to destroy the weapon.
Well, that's easily done, I imagine.
yes.
Saeed says, I mean, we could strap it to the top of our ship. Our enemies are gaining new weapons. Why shouldn't we?
Because this isn't a single target weapon. This is a weapon that's going to destroy cities.
Planets, in fact.
Well, that's not
She
what the
she will
artificer said.
she will look what at Erendil and say, "Do you think Zeus could send lightning and just this place?"
Well, I'm pretty sure if we left and well, we could always destroy ourselves, but yes, I'm pretty sure.
That may be the easiest thing then.
Okay, well, I'm gonna very easily put it in there for you, Mr. Ex-Cleric. Uh, the gods aren't on command to like perform
Hmm.
stuff for you guys. So while Zeus
Right.
absolutely, if he had a mind to blow this place up, he could, but like, why would he? Like, he's not like on
Yeah.
demand or anything.
No,
His
no.
purpose here was making sure that Vaughn paid for his treachery. He doesn't care about the super weapon.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys want to destroy
Yeah.
this place, that's
Yes.
on you. The god isn't going to clean up after you.
Um. So I'll gather Etharrith and Basson together and just say that we can destroy this place, or I have a feeling that Ed will no longer want to travel. Maybe he would want to stay here. But first, we'll destroy the shield and the machine so that even that cannot be then replicated. Etherith, I know this is a big departure from what you were sent to do. So I'd appreciate your input.
I mean, from this point forward, I'm in the dark. I'd been trying to. I'd wanted to avoid this because I knew that were Yvonne to die, the captain might become so despondent that he would never fly to the stars again. And that may very well be the case now. So I don't know what my role is from here on out. I don't believe this will be construed as a failure, but a change, uh, unexpected fork in the road.
You feel, sorry, not to interrupt.
Yeah.
You feel your sister's hand on your shoulder, and she says, "You know what your role is, brother. You have come here to stop this super weapon, haven't you?"
I, I mean, I saw a vision of myself using this weapon alongside the prophet himself, a servant of Elithid. There's so many possible outcomes where this weapon is wielded, probably for good or for evil.
This is your crossroads. Shall you use the weapon for good? Shall you use the weapon for evil? Shall you burn this place down? One thing is for sure, though. It should be our weapon to do with what we will. Which means, and she sort of, from almost behind you, like moves your jaw and points you in the direction of Ed and says, "No one else should know how to do such."
Yeah. No.
She says, "Say the word. I'll make his stone indescribable if you don't have the will to just."
I'm making a wisdom save.
Dude, should we contest? Should it be like a persuasion or something versus something?
Sure. I
Sounds
mean,
like an
Okay.
idea.
All right, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
because
what. I'll roll a persuasion check for her. Why don't you roll me? Let's call it a charisma saving throw. I feel like that would be fitting.
sure, although I'm really, really good at those.
She's really, really good at persuading people.
Okay, I'll use the original roll I just did. So, 15 plus 9. My save is a 24.
24. Uh, well, hers isn't 24. She's pretty good. She's not that good. It's like
What?
18. She rolled an 18.
18. You know,
Well, I'll tell you what. What's the debate here for Etha? So here's the difference between the two saving throws. So wisdom is like awareness, whether that be self or external, right?
yeah,
But charisma is like your force of personality, your will, your
yeah.
strength of who you are. Which do you think is more fitting for what your debate is?
I think it's that, for lack of a like, in the absence of, you know, an actual like family or childhood, the prophet's demise is kind of the closest thing Etharrith has to a family, and so to kill Ed Yord would be a pretty strong betrayal. Etharrith is by no means a good person. Killing is totally on the table most of the time, but this level of betrayal even makes him a bit queasy. However, in the not killing him is also kind of a betrayal of his faith and ideals. This is like, at this point,
So this
Ed's
feels
a
like the charisma.
yeah, Ed's a major kind of went from being like someone in dire need of protection to being kind of a sudden big liability.
She will say, "It'll be all right, brother." But at the end of the day, it is your decision, despite whatever that rule was after it. We
Yeah.
will say that with the charisma saving throw, there's certainly her persuasion is strong, but the words alone don't compel you. It is still your decision to make.
I'll kind of look to Callistra. Which potion was it that that would turn someone to a servant of Hecate?
Ah, you, you devious bastard. Let's see here. Let me go find her little potion list here.
Was it?
Uh,
Oh, Filter the Veiled Oath, I think it was.
there it is. Yeah, the Veiled Omen. Basically, it tricks some. Basically, you drink it and you confront Hecate, and she'll, get you to make a pact.
Etherith will walk over to Ed, and I wonder, do I have
Oh,
anything that would convince him magically to do it, or am I gonna have to like? I also kind of like jerk my head to Callistra to follow,
she does.
and I take out the potion, which should obviously reckon they should give it to me.
She's got a wicked, curling smile across her face.
Captain,
He's just like, he's got his head in his arms. He's like kneeled on the balcony. He,
I
he,
know
yeah,
that the loss of your brother will be a lingering wound. But right now, time is of the essence. So drink this and pull yourself together, if only for a moment. And I'll offer the potion.
make me a deception check, you sly bastard.
That's a natural 20. Holy shit. 25.
This is like the beginning of every evil fairy tale. This is the beginning of every warlock story. This is great. He like, because you didn't do anything. He didn't see your reaction. To the best of his knowledge, he didn't do anything. I'll say Vivara is just like at the door. Like she's just kind of floating, but she's not like supporting you in this. Unless you were to ask for it. He like nods, seeing the logic, and he takes the thing, and he goes, what is it? What'll it do?"
Give clarity, I hope, and set you on a path better than the one we're on now.
Okay. And like he doesn't really get what you're saying, but he doesn't really care to question more. He's a little too distraught. He uncorks the bottle. He spills it down his throat. And as he does so, like midway through drinking it, you watch him. You find yourself very curiously just like staring at him, watching. And about midway through the bottle's contents being done, you see his eyes go like gray and glossy, and all of his like tense, like strained, twisted facial muscles sort of relax, and he begins to go calm and limp as his eyes just sort of go over gray. And he continues to drink, but almost like automatically, not like by his own intention, but he like finishes drinking it, and then it's almost like his arm goes numb and the bottle drops to the ground. His arms go limp. And he just kind of sits there on his knees for a bit until it's almost like he's being paralyzed or being put unconscious, and then his back slips and he falls over. And he is just laying on the ground in a waking dream, his body sort of like writhing and shaking here and there, his face turning like he's in some kind of unconscious nightmare or seizure of some kind. And as he does so, as he's laying there, you're going to see that his shadow from when he was laying like on the bounce like this, it didn't move. And it begins to become amorphous and shift in shape until it becomes almost like this black shadowy hound across the ground, and then it builds into 3 dimensions until this shade, this mastiff pure shade, just sort of dwells over top of him and kind of over the body of uh of Ed, kind of like smelling him. He seems completely unaware of it, but this almost grotesquely thin, shaded creature with no lips and just like hooked teeth over top of what is there of lips, massive claws of shade and black smoke kind of coming off of it. This which looks like a hellhound, but made of pure shadow, just sort of dwells over top of him as Ed is in this like waking vision. And your sister watches with you. At this point, you hear all of you through the telepathic bond, Vivara say, I hear sounds through the clouds down below. I think there may be ships. Ships that have come into the cloud now. It won't be long before they find us, I'm sure.
Sister,
So, yeah.
is there a means to get this weapon, to move this weapon out of here before anyone arrives?
I say destroy.
She looks up at the balloon, says, well, if it can't fly, it will fall. If it will fall, then things tend to break when things fall. Other than that, I don't possess any great telekinetic power. He turns and looks at Hassan and Saeed. Saeed says, I've already used my most powerful telekinetics today.
Let it break. But we can't
I would,
let them have it.
I would have liked to have perhaps claimed the weapon, but in the current circumstances, that doesn't seem viable or feasible without causing a greater mess. So,
Not if you've said you've seen yourself and the Prophet using it together. I say
Saeed
we
says,
destroy it.
sorry, keep going. Apologies.
No, sorry. I say we destroy it. And without.
Saeed, at that point, Saeed will pop in. He says, what of the ship? What of the ship? We can take it. The ship may be dwindling in the space between wild space and the atmosphere. Maybe you can come and collect it for us.
we don't know where our ship is at the moment.
Yeah.
And we don't actually have the way to communicate with them.
Right, the small ship that's outside. Sorry, I've just remembered that it was there and I've just seen it earlier. Is that big enough to carry that weapon or not? It's not, is it? I
We
think you
can't.
said in the
We
last
can't.
one.
I also don't know that we can move the weapon because it's so big. I don't know that we have the manpower to physically move the weapon onto the ship.
Yeah, there's no one here of particular great strength, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm just going to cast Shatter on it.
All right, cast Shatter on it. Yeah, no worries about that.
We all die. It blows up.
We, no, it's fine.
Or
Doesn't work
shatter
any.
underneath the thing so it falls through and goes.
Nah,
starts
you
a
said
dinner.
Shatter on it. It's fine. Nice try. You fire a Shatter at it. Um, it does, like, the metal twists. You hear the sound of like crystal breaking as it does do extra damage with crystal, I believe. And it in large twists and gnarls and falls apart. There is a moment there where you see these crystals have fallen out, and there is this like this reactive glowing of color that sort of brightens the entire room, and then it kind of and one of the crystals shatter. I rolled the dice for it, and I was like, let's just see if it blows up. I was like, on a natural 20, it'll blow up. Why not? I rolled a 19, so that was close. That was really close. It doesn't blow up. It's broken. It's certainly not functional.
Can we simply sink this thing? Can we leave and I'll blow it up? Just can we destroy it all? Let us go.
It depends on your measure of destroy it all. Like right now, it's broken. Like it's completely unfunctional.
She's talking about this thing that they're spinning around in. It's held up by a balloon. Destroy the balloon and let the entire thing fall.
Yeah.
Destroy.
Okay.
Said says, well, what if the shield generator at least?
Can you move it?
I can't move anything right now.
I can't move anything right now either.
Have you both considered using your hands?
Bisan looks
Said.
I'm Dexy.
Look at the size of it. I'm strong, but I'm not that strong.
I understand that it's most probably a very valuable thing to have.
Do you want me to carry it down the mountain?
This is the thing. We do not have the means to secure it. So do we destroy it so no one else can have it? Or do we allow them to take it? They are coming. We need to decide now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to drink a potion of Hill Giant Strength.
Hey! You drink the potion of Hill Giant Strength, Etharrith, your measly form uh, enhances
I go from
muscles.
I go from a fucking 6 strength to 21.
Yeah, your Etharrith goes from like this kind of dainty, small lizard man to what all imagine the might of the Dragonborn race is capable of at its apex of strength. Etharrith bulks the fuck up and becomes a Herculean Dragonborn in this moment. Uh, and Saeed goes, "Good, now we can lift it." It is heavy, and I would say even with the 21, you could lift it by yourself, but Saeed is pretty strong himself. Between the two of you, yes, you guys managed to hoist it up off the ground and are able to carry it together.
The shield
I like
generator.
The shield generator,
yeah.
presumably, as you guys have just
Yes.
rendered the weapon, uh, you know, broken.
I'm only like this for an hour, so let's make the most of it.
So it's like, all right, down the stairs, pivot,
Pivot.
pivot.
I'm taking it that, and I know the answer is most probably no, but that wind walk doesn't affect things.
Not objects, no. Not
No,
unless it wouldn't affect the generator, no.
Okay.
But you could
Boy,
take
yeah, go ahead.
Bisan and we could sink the whole thing and walk out of here, etc.
Once they're off and on the way down with Syndra and I suppose Ed, if he's leaving it, then if not, oh no, he's dead. Sorry. Or gone.
Oh, he's not dead.
Whatever.
He's something kind of dead.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave Ed there with a as it is and walk out and just let it go once they're off and on the way down the mountain.
All right. So you, Etharrith and Saeed begin to the best of your ability, make your way down the stairs, which does probably involve destroying elements of the ship to get it through. Um, the the generators would fit quite well through like the open spaces that lead to the various balconies.
You
Um,
know what? I'm gonna make this easier for us. Say, bring it to the balcony, and
like halfway down the stairs, he's got most of the weight. He's like, okay, fine. And you make your way back up.
I will cast Dimension Door just to get us like somewhere on solid ground, even away from like the rickety ass bridges.
Does Dimension Door take objects?
I mean, it doesn't say either way. Only that it can be placed against. You teleport to location in range. Teleport one willing creature with me. If you were the
You can bring along objects as long as their weight doesn't exceed what you can carry. So,
okay.
By the grace of the fact that you two are able to lift it together, I will allow it. You are carrying it between you. This dimension door opens. You both sort of sink through it. And yeah, you can land on, we'll say where Vivara posted up, over here.
Yeah.
And with that, the shield generator has been taken off of this damn ship.
Can't believe I'm using such an amazing spell for moving furniture.
Isn't it furniture? Don't you say that? I will say, as you get down there, your little, sure. You know what? You're gonna see Saeed. No, he's helping you lift it. Fuck, there's a plan here. No, okay, so it'll be Vivara. If I'm saying her name right, or if I've completely lost it.
No, that's right.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry, I could brain twist like a lot of PCs. Vivara, you see her actually like getting into the personal vessel across the way, and you hear through the bond, "I'll be back." And she will send some cantrips to sort of slice the ropes, and the ship will go aloft, and the little personal vehicle will fly off at miraculous speed into the clouds, and Vivara seemingly abandons you guys for the time being. But you're still connected to the telepathic bond, not to forget.
So, just rolling back a little bit, when we first went up the mountain, the Vanguard was around the cave area, weren't they?
Yeah.
Where we were. Okay.
They were that's the base of the mountain. It would take them time to travel up the mountain. But their ships were stationed around in preparation. And now I will say that Etharrith, you're off the ship. You can hear down below, and you certainly see the roiling of the wind, showing the travel of, things moving swiftly through the under. It's still dense, hard, difficult visibility, so you've got time, but they're there. They're very much there. These enemies of yours. Well, not enemies, the Azure Vanguard, whatever they are to you at this point. So what next? You, Basan and Arendil, you are the last aboard the whatever it is, the observatory. That's right. You do.
So,
If you can
we
wind
wanna
walk,
this.
we can wind walk.
Yes.
Let's go. Take me. We got to go up.
Okay. So I believe that it takes us into.
I believe it takes a minute to turn into clouds, and then another minute to exit the cloud.
Yeah,
and you can do this so long as you hold concentration.
Yeah. So I've got 8 hours worth of being able to do that. So it's a minute for each transformation.
You'll see Callistra just sort of like step up onto the balcony and very witchy, just sort of gravity almost like disappearing around her. It just sort of floats up and off the balcony. So you wish to do this? You're casting Windwalk?
Yeah, I'll use the necklace of prayer beads. I've got one on there, so I'll use that.
All right, you call upon the power of Zeus, and it takes about a minute, but you guys notice your solid skin begins to become a little loose, and then transparent, and then loose enough that you can force your thumb through without pain, and then after a minute, you'll disincorporate entirely into thick white clouds. You look vaguely humanoid, but you are gas. You are incorporeal.
Bisan would like to spiral up to. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it. Sorry.
Bisan would like to spiral up to the top of the thing. I'll give you like the quick rundown of what she wants to do, because she doesn't know how everything works, but she's going to go up to the top as far as she can, turn into herself again, cast a quick feather fall, take out the staff of fire, which she would have had ready, and cast a wall of fireball just from the top down.
All right. We'll say you land on the top of the balloon. Just mark off. Well, I guess mark off all. I don't know how many charges you got on the thing. Let's just say mark off all your charges. You just start sending a wrath of storming fire down upon the balloon, and sure enough, it definitely pops and begins to burn. And as you're sort of caught in the middle of the balloon, it begins to fall very rapidly as weight beats hot air, and it's a little tricky. Well, this is purely for thematics. To be a little theatrical here, but it's a little hard to feather fall because your feet are technically on solid canvas, and you're not falling as fast as, and you're like feather fall. God damn it, feather fall, and it's just not working because you have all this fabric around you. And Arendelle, you're like, oh fucking no, as you're watching the thing fall, and then coming out of the burning flame and black smoke is this white cloud. As it does take about a minute for it to disappear from sight lines of the sun, you manage to make your way out at the last minute, and we get the extra $1 billion at opening day because of it. With that, the observatory falls, crashes, explodes into the mountainside. The fire was quite a signal. The beacons are lit, and ascending up and out of the smoke cloud, you see about a dozen of these hummingbird ships that are the Azure Vanguard's head ships that fly out and prepare themselves to investigate the area, attack the area, what have you. Edjord disappears down with the observatory as he was left behind. Um, in a ball of flame and destroying observatory, vanishes into the mountainside. If there was anything left of Avon, he is now underneath the observatory. So, with that, the line of Yord artificers comes to an end, and the secret of their family's greatest invention supposedly dies with them. You all sit there floating as a cloud. Etharrith and Saeed have the shield generator. And as you guys are beginning to all regroup, Hassan, you make your way down there with Arendil. You can't talk or communicate because you're fucking clouds. You begin to make your way out of the cloud shape, presumably next to Etharrith and Saeed, to decide what to do next as the hummingbirds begin to close in. And then you hear from up above, you see Vivara's ship come flying in, and behind it, a great turtle ship, Prophet's Demise, flying in towards all of you, following the little personal fighter, right down to where you guys are. And it seems that the power of prophecy does it again as the great turtle ship arrives. Now, this is a secondary signal. As it flies in, so too do all of the hummingbird ships. They have a little bit of a ways off from you guys, so there is time. I'm not going to bring this to an initiative. There's no need to make this like as that complicated, but I will bring this down to a skill challenge to see if you guys want to try and load up and get the fuck out of Dodge, or is there something else you want to do?
How far is the turtle ship?
We'll say at this moment, the turtle ship is there with you guys. Like it is just landed, the back doors opened, the gangplank has been lunged down.
Immediately dimension door me in. Me and
all right, you dimension door
with the shield generator onto the ship.
Where onto the ship?
Cargo
hold.
Wait. Sure. I mean, the most secure place I can think of. Yeah. Cargo hold. Yeah.
Yep, down in the belly of the ship. That's pretty secure. You guys. He's like, stop doing that. And you guys put down the shield generator in the cargo hold that is empty, as they did make their supply runs, and now there's just empty crates down here. You guys all run aboard. Hey, you need a Spelljammer. You've got your current Spelljammer crew member,
Bisan.
Arian.
Bisan can also do
currently...
it. Or maybe Arian needs to stay where he is.
Yeah, Arian will... well, I'll tell you what. So you two have gone to the cargo hold. Arendil and Basan, you get aboard. I'll say Callistra got a ride with the personal vehicle because she was levitating. You can't choose where you're going horizontally, so she was just kind of floating there. So she kind of went with the personal vehicle.
I'll shout into like the telepathic link to Vivara. Get out to wild space. We can re-enter the system later, and then I'm like try and get to the Spelljammer.
She immediately begins to ascend straight up. It is to your benefit, perhaps, as a couple of maybe like 3 of the 10 hummingbirds do ascend up after Vivara's personal vehicle, and take some heat off of you guys. So you get aboard the ship. You hear Arendil, this is going to be hard. because you both have such similar names and you're both elves. Arian
Sorry.
shouts down the hall and says, "Are we all aboard?"
We're all aboard. For now, I'm acting captain. Get out to wild space immediately.
Aye, aye. And with that, your ship is not wicked fast. You are down a bosun. You are down you're down your most proficient bosun. You're down your most proficient spelljammer. The ship begins to move upward, but this is a fortress ship. This is a defensible ship, not a ship built for outrunning anything, especially not swift fighters such as the hummingbird ships. And very quickly they begin to gain on you, and you begin to hear the scraping sounds of ballista bolts being shot at your turtle ship.
Isan looks at Arundel and says, I believe you gave your word to put the shield generator back. Is that going to cause any problems with...
Well, I believe the fact that Avon has paid his price and that is done. The storm has passed. I believe that is there.
The ship will not outrun the hummingbirds.
No, I know. So we either take them out or we go down. Obviously,
there are too many. We don't have the manpower.
He goes, "Boy, it sure would be nice if we had a super deadly weapon strapped to the top of our ship."
That super deadly weapon wouldn't...
Yeah, go ahead.
That super deadly weapon would destroy us just as well. It's a ranged weapon. It's not for close.
If you want super deadly, I can think of a certain dragon.
I have an idea.
Okay. Oh, Saeed does run off as you mentioned that after, but go ahead.
Why don't we just give them the shield generator? Why isn't that easier?
It is.
Why are we taking it?
My idea at the moment is I'll turn into gaseous form, fly down and find, what is her name?
Yeah, you're gonna go find the paladin.
Vanguard. Sorry?
I know who you mean. You're gonna go find whatever his name is. There.
And then just tell her what's happened. We have the shield generator.
Your ship is, just as a note, your ship is going up in the atmosphere, and if you want to go down, you can move quite fast and even drop. But it will take time. Yeah, it will take time to do so, but it is entirely possible.
Hassan, I'm not against giving them the shield generator, but as far as I'm aware, it's full chaos right now.
I understand. Can we communicate that with them? Because they will keep shooting at us. They do not know we are not trying to pirate it away. That is what they would do, I think.
I even know if these hummingbirds are the Azure Vanguard.
Yes,
Okay.
they're laden with the color of the Vanguard.
Okay, fair enough. In which case, all right, make way for the Thesla's dock then.
So, not to make your lives more difficult here, but in this moment, you do see, which I think only Arundel and Basan will recognize their shape. You see these almost crustacean-like shells come as you're breaking atmosphere. These crustacean-like shells come flying past your ship, deadly close, and smashing into like at least one of the hummingbirds behind you, reducing their number to 7. But they are undoubtedly like these like illithid drop vessels, basically. They come flying out of atmosphere into one of the ships, and another one flies past.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, basically, and you're right, Etharrith, this is becoming mad chaos, where you guys are flying, hummingbirds are after you, personal vehicles over there, 3 hummingbirds are after them, illithid drop shells are flying past you like comets. It was only one instance, it was about 2 of them. And then one of them explodes into another ship. There this is sort of the free for all where all the factions know where it is, who's got it, and they want it. So it is chaos. Arendelle, you fly down with utter haste, try and get there. But while you're doing that, I am going to bring us to an initiative because this is mayhem and people don't have walkie-talkies. So we're going to figure this out and come ourselves back to a combat in space for the first time in a while. If I can find it. What did I use for my oh, right. Okay, let's do this.
I am just going to go kind of dark for a second.
Yep, no problem. It's going to take me a moment just to get set up too. Okay, Fertile. Bird. Oops. Coming back. Okay. And let's see here. That's something. I'll use an X-Wing. Haha. And there. Okay. I'm gonna make you guys. Oh my god. This big. That big. Oh, that sucks. That's fine. It'll do. They're on like the peaceful music. Hey, you've gotten out of stickier situations. Let me see here. Okay. Oh boy. Just gonna get my ship out and we'll be good to start collecting initiative. Oh. All right, now I've got to roll. Okay, so we're gonna do side initiative as usual. Etharrith, you are acting captain for the turtle ship. I'd like you to roll me initiative. Let me know what it is. What was it? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull up the turtle ship's stat.
I just rolled your initiative. Roll your initiative.
Oh, mine. Okay, 20.
20, very nice. Vivara rolled not great. How many rolls better? That's pretty much our initiative. So you're gonna go first. Okay, so initiative is up. Um, all right, what happens? So, Etharrith, you are acting captain. As a reminder, this is side initiative, which means that everyone could just take their turns as they need who are aboard the ships. This will be about Hassan, Etharrith, and the rest of the crew. So, what is going on with you guys?
If only I was a little bit stronger than 21 strength. I don't actually want to fight them.
Well, they seem to want to fight you, or at least think that you're trying to run away with it. Yeah, as all these ballistas are flying past, is a decision that needs to be made.
I'd like to direct Aryan to try and get to the Thessalis docking area.
He says, "Are you sure, Captain? That's where they're going to be the thickest."
Where else are we supposed to land? They're going to shoot us down, and I have no interest in fighting a whole fleet.
Tidewalker, our wonderful Triton, sticks her head in, and she says, "We can go underwater. They can't. Let's go underwater."
Fuck it, love the plan. Underwater we go. Find the ocean.
Oh fuck! All right, everyone, hold on to something. Arendelle, or god damn it, Aryan, basically focuses hard, and the whole ship just starts doing the. I'm sure that there's a good reference for it, but and just kind of barely is holding onto the gravity of Thessalis, and then the ships fly past, and the ship just begins to fall. And you guys are like, and it's very much like a hold on to something situation. The sun, wherever you're running, you're like, oh fuck, again, against the wall. Everyone in the ship, as the ship just starts falling through the atmosphere, Arendelle or Arian is starting to try and aim the ship in the direction of waters. The clouds will sort of streak past, and he starts to kind of. It's definitely like a Force Awakens. We're gonna jump out of hyperspace just before we hit the planet sort of situation, where you guys are coming in at magnificent drop speeds, and Arian's just trying to direct the ship towards water. Is there any actions or anything on your turns you'd actually like to do after this song?
If there's anything orrery related I can do that's really helpful here. Nah.
We can, if we want to do this, we can probably do this as a narrative. We don't have to go through all these turns. If that's an easier way of going about this, because it seems like you guys just want to evade and get out of combat and then deal with it out of combat.
It would be nice if we could talk to them and say, hey, we would like to give you your thing. It would be easier than being shot.
Okay. And yet, I'm still going to shoot you. So, as your Spelljammers take you towards water, there is still it's not going to be instantaneous, as you almost broke atmosphere. So you're going to have to descend for a little bit there. Not for too long, as you're just in a straight drop. So it will happen pretty quickly. But is there any actions you guys would like to take in the meantime, or are you just kind of holding on? All right. I'll say make a strength save, and you as well, Basan, just to hold fast as this thing's falling out of atmosphere.
Why did I roll so low? So that's
you're not used to your body.
Yeah, 8.
You're like, you kind of. I know you're strong, but you don't know how to use it, and you go falling prone. It's fine.
23. 23.
Yeah, you Basan yeah, you, the sun, have your sea legs, and you're used to your body, and you feel the lurch of the ship moving, and you kind of are able to grab onto a door frame quickly before you're thrown across the ship. And you're good. Is there anything that you would like to do, Basan? Or are you just standing in the cockpit with everyone else trying to figure out what to do next?
I think right now she wants to stay close to Aryan in case on the off shot we get boarded. Since we're not trying to, we don't really want to shoot at them. And she really shouldn't be outside the turtle anyway right now, so because we're gonna go underwater, so we're gonna hold tight.
Yeah, you hear Aryan call through the ship. He goes, what does he say? He says, secure the ship underwater! Secure the ship! And various crew members start sliding the metal plates into place to cover the portholes, so the pressure of the impact doesn't flood you guys with water. The ship is currently being prepped for underwater. Okay, let me see here. Ballista have a +6. There are 6 of them attacking you, and we'll average out the damage to 16 each. As you're falling, luckily your ship has a magnificent ACM, mostly bouncing off, but 1 or 2 right into the hull, and Turtle Ship will take 32 points of damage. Right up the butt. That's the hummingbirds. They just turn, descend, fire at you from behind. Navara is luckily much faster than her adversaries. She sees you guys drop. Let's see what she does. She's not really a spelljammer. This isn't really her deal. She's Anakin Skywalker in the first movie, going to destroy the droid ship. That is who she is right now. She's like, whoa, this is tense. Luckily, she has the power of prophecy to keep her away from certain blows, perhaps. She will be fired on. I almost forgot about that. And her AC isn't as significant as all of yours. She has a 15 armor class. I'm using a bit of a damage. I'm using mob combat rules right now just to speed things up a little bit. She'll take on 16 points of damage. And she is going to kick this baby into... It's going to use the arcane drive to double the speed of the ship. I think she'll just follow... actually, we got the fucking telepathy. She will connect with... well, you guys will all hear it. She'll say, where are you going? What do I do?
You make for Thessalis, try to find somewhere to land without dying, and you can either turn yourself in or retreat to the Hecate hideout, whichever you prefer.
Okay. I'm on my own, it seems. Good luck.
Hold on.
Hopefully not die.
Would it not be easier for you to open the cargo bay and go into the rear end?
I didn't catch any of that.
Sorry. The back end of the ship can open up where there's room for a ship, personal ship, isn't it?
You want me to try and board the ship while it's in free fall? This is the first time I've ever been on a ship. I mean, I could try.
You're capable.
Make a persuasion check, Arundel. This is a pretty daring maneuver I'm trying to convince her of.
9.
9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Etharrith can do the thing that moves people.
I need to be able to see her to do that, but I could get her into the ship without me abandoning the vessel.
She says, that seems like a bit much. I have some spells left. I'll try and escape. good luck. See you, maybe. And she'll fly. She's a lot faster than them, which is the good news. But they are in hot pursuit, and she basically afterburns away across the atmosphere and sort of like uses the atmosphere to like slingshot away, and you lose track of her past the cloud cover. You can still communicate with her so long as she remains on this plane of existence, but she doesn't feel confident enough to try and land the ship free fall. That's a little much for her, and she's going to try some other stuff. We'll see how that goes for her. Um, Meanwhile, Arendelle, you're doing a similar descent, just flying in as fast as you can in a free fall. So here's what I'm gonna do. We're just gonna see how much damage you take before you hit water, because I'm gonna say it's 2 more rounds to get there in free fall. I'm being pretty generous because it's definitely not 900 feet from atmosphere to ground level in any world, but we're just gonna say that you're giving her all she's got, Captain.
So within this time, as I'm in gaseous form going down to try and find the Vanguard, when I see them, I'll start to, I know it takes a minute, so I'll start to transform back. And as soon as I'm within 30 feet, I'll misty step from that point to them so that I'm not taking any damage.
Got it. Very
That's
cool
my
of you. Very
action,
cool of you. All right. I'll tell you what. Make me a investigation or insight check to time it perfectly. That will be some difficult timing.
Oh my god. Not a 2, so it's an 8.
An 8. Because of the mechanics working quite well for the difficulty of that kind of descent, you would have to like free fall 200 feet to within 30 feet of the ground, and then make that teleport at the start of your next turn. So it's hard to measure, but by luck, you're coming in a little too quick to hit the Misty Step, but you do end up unintentionally looking to like come flying in like this cloud, begin to become corporeal, and about halfway into becoming corporeal, you hit the ground. The smoke of your like it hurts a little bit, but not enough to do bludgeoning damage, and the smoke around you kind of goes across the ground, and then like funnels into itself like almost like a reverse mushroom cloud, and then incorporates into your body, and everyone thinks it looks damn cool because it does. Tell you what, I'll give you the performance check or the athletics check, your choice. Athletics or performance to stick the landing.
That's a 16 on athletic.
You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage to your knee, but you don't show it on your face, and nobody knows. And you're just gonna you just kind of stand up a little, like as you kind of get back onto your 2 feet, but you walk it off. You're fine, boss. So you found the Azure Vanguard. It's gonna be pure luck if you found who you're looking for. We'll see. But as you land there and you look up, you turn to the left and you see just like a hailstorm of ballista bolts flying past it, and your company's turtle ship maybe like 4 miles off, like a blip on the horizon, into the ground as it like
as to what's going on anyway. So
yeah, basically you hear in your mental link maybe somebody say brace, and the hummingbirds just kind of before hitting the water. One of them does hit the water, of course, because it's sci-fi. And but your party manages to get underwater without any further destruction. But I am going to deal you some extra damage for that mighty fall. You guys would take 112 damage from various ballista shots before hitting the water. which is going to be worth your ship would be considered bloodied at that point. Like you managed to get underwater before your ship is destroyed. So your ship is pretty damaged, but it's still got a hot 56 hit points left. So you made it. You're okay. They can't follow you underwater, which is nice. Um, and you have evaded the combat. So in which we will come to Arendelle in this moment. And Arendelle, you sort of turn and look, and you see these uh, Thessalan Azure Vanguard warriors looking at you a little surprised, unsurprisingly. You don't see the paladin in question just yet, which I'll get you her name promptly.
I think I've got it somewhere, but I just can't remember where I wrote it down.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
Ilara?
Better, can I save her as a relevant character? Please don't let her. Not. I've got her in here somewhere. Hang on.
I've got right down.
Ilya. It's Ilya. Yeah.
Ilya.
Paladin Ilya.
That's it.
So yeah, you ask for her, and it takes a moment, but she does step through the crowd, looking not fairly stoic, and she says, "Arendelle, something doesn't surprise me about your flight."
As in my flight on my ships. We have what you want, but we have had to take refuge. There was 2 ships that entered, both deleted. That's why we ran. We've taken refuge underwater, but we have what you want. Call off your hummingbirds, and we shall talk.
Make me a deception check, because you did not flee because of Mind Flare.
That's a 10.
She says, "Convenient that the Mind Flayers seem to have the favor of Zeus, of being able to travel through his thunder and lightning. We entered the cloud immediately after the cloud dissipated."
Okay, but you weren't there. Ask your pilots; they will tell you.
She will say, "I will do just that." And she'll look to her men and say, "Take Arendelle into custody. We will get to the bottom of this."
Okay. I'm going to use. Where is it? I'm going to use a channel divinity and.
Ooh.
I'm going to use exile.
Very cool. All right, exile. So that means that they would essentially be turned, right?
Yeah, they make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, what's your DC?
Wisdom. It's only 11 at the moment.
Well, the good news is that most of the people here are the common soldier. Ilya will save, but as they begin to approach you, I'll tell you what does it look like or sound like? Do you say something? Do you do something, Rendil, to activate this channel divinity as you call on the raw power of Zeus?
I'm just reading what the actual effects are. So
basically, they have to run away from you.
Yeah, it's find or incapacitate and incapacitate condition. Okay. So as they start to approach, and I'll turn and see. Does the paladin of Zeus himself command you to flee? and run. We will not take them into custody today.
Incredible. As you say this, directly above your head, there is this crackle of thunder that suggests that your words are indeed supported by the high and mighty god of lightning. And as they begin to approach, the turn swells across these ranks, and they kind of stop. And we'll play this slightly thematically. They kind of sort of step back in fear of you, and in recognizing. And little do they know, indeed, exile the very space. They're pushed away from you, and in their fear and awe of you, they kind of step back feet past Ilya and away from you. And Ilya, now not stoic, looks at you in surprise and shock, as she hears and feels the presence of Zeus around your words. And she says, "You? Oh." And there's a pause, and she turns and she looks to her men and she says, "Stand down. Stand down before the paladin of Zeus." And they do. Their turn, and they pull back from you in fear of your majesty. And they're held at bay.
Oh. Like that.
Did you follow up?
Yeah, I'll turn to Ilya and just say, "Stand down your team. We will bring you back the shield. Keep your eyes on the space. There are a little around."
She will nod slowly, and she will say, "Back to Thessaly, men." And they kind of sort of hoist their spears and shields, and they will begin to make the walk across the plains towards Thessaly in your company. And Ilya will sort of gesture for you to follow, if it is your choice, with more, certainly more, how do I put it? I don't want to say reverence, but certainly she's been put in her place by you, and she kind of gestures as a suggestion, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll follow.
All right. You begin to follow, and you and Ilya walk in the center of this small battalion of guards that sort of flood out of the trees and form lines as you make your way back into the city of Thessaly with you. Just to expedite matters a little bit, Vivara, let's see if she got away. Oh, really good. She does tell you all that she managed to get away and flee, but the ship didn't survive. Yep, shrug. And as you guys are underwater and your crew's desperately patching the hulls, you're taking on water here and there from the ballista bolts. Maybe after it's gonna take a while to get back to Thessaly, but one of the ships will land out in the middle of the plains, and one of the pilots will pop off and report to Ilya, and will report what has been found. And with that, the DC of your deception will drop as, the presence of the mind flare attacking from atmosphere will suggest what you have to say may be true. And she will look to you and say, "Very well. Then you have the apologies of the Azure God. If you have ability to, if not, it is fine. We will communicate with them. But if you do, your ship is no longer under attack, and we will ensure it is in good repair."
So then I'll contact the team Etharrith Person. You are safe. If the
Oh,
guard called off
good.
their ships, you may come up and we shall have repairs made for us.
Make sure
Uh,
they cover us as we come in.
They know there is Elithida and they are making sure it's safe.
I'm so glad that they're around to protect us from the Illithid. Well, I'm aware now that they have a whole fleet on standby.
Over the course of the next hour, shall we say, turtle ship Prophet's Demise rises from the nearby water. You dock in Thessalos. You exit the ship and are reunited with um, Arendil, who is sort of standing at the head of this little Azure Guard battalion next to Ilya, um, who offers her apologies for the misunderstanding and certainly payment for the repairs to your ship.
Etharrith makes like no attempt to hide just how pissed off he is.
She takes that stoically. She'll nod to the various harbor authorities. They will nod, and they will begin repairs of your ship immediately. Various bosuns will begin to work on you, or your ship anyway. Your ship gets off, or your crew members get off looking pretty happy with themselves. As that was like awesome. That was a lot of fun. Got out again, and they got us out again by the skin of our teeth. They're pretty happy with themselves. Arendil will, or excuse me, Orion will be happy to let you know that they made money while you were away. Let me see here. To let's see how much money was made. He goes into the back. He starts calculating how much he could have that they made in the freight run. He goes, "We just kind of put it in the cargo bay." Interesting little bit of technology you had, by the way. But we were doing some traveling, and we're going to see what kind of contracts they got. They said we managed to make 4,500 gold pieces. Yep, 4,500 gold pieces. Spell components, crafting materials for specialized work, so on and so forth. You all are brought into a little meeting room where it's a little bit more like a private court thing, kind of, where this is a little interesting bit of a legal matter. And the Azure Guard looks unhappy. Ilya, being a warrior, she kind of steps out, but various people in there look ready to legally rip you apart. But then the doors swing open, and you see Chaplain come through the door, and he says, "Objection!" And he's gonna come over, and he's gonna say, "My clients would like a recess," and basically, Chaplain is going to make sure that you don't get the wool pulled over you by Thessalan law, and he ensures that these proceedings go well. And he says, "Wow, you guys really, I'm sure glad I got off when I did. That looked like really chaotic, and that's not for me. But yeah, and yeah,
My
go ahead.
familiarity with Thessalian custom must be really, really rough. I don't recall there being a need for a dozen ships to arrive for the acquisition of something we already agreed to part with."
Well, from the proceedings, it sounds like they thought that you were trying to run with it. And in fairness, you guys are a little unpredictable. You're always up to something crazy, and it's always hard to
Well,
anticipate what you're going to do next.
it becomes something of a self-fulfilling prophecy when you show up with your army to the handoff.
I look, I'm here to represent you. All right, I'm doing this pro bono.
That's great. I'd just like to have it understood that when you arrive for the exchange of goods, you don't bring an army along with you. That's threatening. I felt threatened. Understandably threatened, I'd imagine.
Uh, yeah, you know what? That's actually a very good point. I read about that. Yeah, no, I could maybe we could see if we could get you guys some back pay or something for that
Yeah.
for
And that's
harm
not
and
even considering the Elithid that also decided to join in. That just added on to initial fear for life.
of course, yes, this is all good. He's writing it down. He goes, yep, emotional support bills, therapy, and he's writing all this down. This is good. Keep going, keep going.
Captain didn't make it.
Uh,
England.
death and dismemberment, and writes that down. He goes, oh, Ed didn't make it. The Azure took out Ed.
Not in the pursuit, but certainly in the process of acquiring the shield generator, the captain was lost, along with his brother. Well, his brother fell off the research balloon and fell to his untimely demise. So,
Well, maybe we could get you something for maybe the balloon wasn't up to code or something. Maybe we could get something like that.
certainly a lot of emotional damages.
Yep, code, emotional damage, um, bodily harm, death and dismemberment. Uh,
I mean,
death and dis-
even the you weren't there, but the bridges on that mountain going towards the research station. Well, those were barely. Some of them were just flat out broken. They were. If I wasn't a dragonborn or well a sorcerer, I don't know how we would have made it across.
Mm. Well, unfortunately, we can't hit the Azure Guard for those bills because technically Crown and government is different than the law of the faith, and that is considered lawfully. It's not lawful ground. It's ground held by the faith. So it would be up to the. But we could file a motion against the Church of Zeus for upkeep of the roads to the various pilgrim sites.
No.
That might not be a good idea. We have one of their paladins in the crew now.
Okay, should I write down indentured servitude?
I mean, that's more of a. It's up to Rendell, I suppose.
No, I'm just
Let's
kidding. They don't
just-
care about that in Thessalos.
Okay, let's just be amicable. We'll take what we can. Take an extra money by them doing our shit. But let's just be amicable about it all.
Okay. He walks in there, chaplain with all the confidence in the world. And bless his heart, he's very new to law. He may have turned his heart towards the lawful and the just, but he was a rapscallion and a chaotic little guy for a very long time. And he's only been learning about law for like a week now, I think, something like that. And he goes in there, and he is certainly going to get you the basics figured out. You are absolved of any legal issues. Your ship is being repaired by the Azure Vanguard. It's coming out of their pocket. And you guys are going to be paid for the handing over of the shield generator, 5,000 gold pieces, as promised. And
Sorry, how much was that? Sorry.
5,000.
Yeah, that's right.
and that ends up being that. They take the shield generator off of your ship. They return it to the Azure Vanguard. Um, and Chaplain says, "Well, sorry, I couldn't get you any back pay for the emotional harm and bodily harm and death, dismemberment, and all of that. But we did get you your payment, and you're not going to jail and stuff. Yeah, you guys were my first clients.
It is good to see you, Chaplain.
Who owns the mountain? Out of curiosity.
What was that?
Who owns the mountain?
Oh, nobody owns the mountain, but it is considered under the jurisdiction of the faith.
Oh. I was gonna ask if I could sue them for I died, funnily enough.
You died. But
I was killed on the way up the mountain.
Oh. Well, yeah, I can't do anything about that. Sorry, legally, that's not. But I'm sorry you died. That's really a shame.
Yeah, it really sucked.
But yes, unfortunately, but was it because of the bridges? Was it because of the bridges? If it's because of the bridges.
No, there was a lightning breathing monster in a cave.
Oh, well, there is a clause about that in religious law about how like they don't not held responsible for any death or dismemberment by wild creatures that take post.
It's ridiculous. Can't keep
Yeah.
your own sacred mountain safe.
Well, Zeus isn't really a god of keeping things safe.
Must really suck to be a priest of Zeus then. Get
Oh,
killed by
I
one of
know.
the lightning breathing monsters on your sacred mountain, and everyone just goes, "Oh well, I guess that's Zeus's plan."
I very much
Yeah.
doubt the priests go up there and die. It's just you.
Well, this is awkward. I'm gonna leave now. It was great seeing all of you. I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah.
Chat
And
before
you,
you go,
Chaplain.
do you want to draw a card for all time's sake?
Make a persuasion check. Roll
25.
25.
Nice.
He looks at you and he says, "This makes me extremely uncomfortable, but for you, Etharrith, oh, okay, okay,
I'll take out the
fine."
deck and offer him to draw a card.
He goes, "I really don't like this. This feels very wrong and bad and irresponsible. But here we go. Here I go drawing a card." His hand shakes. He goes near it. "I'm pulling a card."
I'm just going to step back about 20 feet, 30 feet out the way.
That's fair. All right, what do I roll here to make this happen?
It's a D100.
I'm looking for the chart. The chart. Where are you, D100 chart? Ah, here it is. Excellent. Okay, here we go. Oh, what fun it is to ride. Interesting.
Please let it be cool.
Poor Chaplain.
No! No!
Tell me the number I want to know.
Let it be cool.
He pulls out this card that looks to be a winding labyrinth across the face of it.
Oh no.
And it says puzzle underneath. And it's sort of and then like it's sort of all of those like labyrinths sort of like shoot into his eyeballs, like almost three-dimensionally out of it, and sort of like consume the card as it goes. And he's like, and he's going to like blink a couple times and be like, hi guys. That was fun.
I think I just ended his law career. Oh dear.
I like you guys.
Kind of just
Wow.
pat Chaplin on the head. You know what? Maybe it's better this way.
I feel better.
Why don't you go run along and find some, I don't know.
Is there a need for a gnome in the cult? Etharrith, seeing
Ah.
as he's not in this right shape or mind, and
Um,
maybe he's for a
Oh,
better
cult,
gnome.
cult
are you?
bad, cult bad, cult. So much crazy. Cult's crazy.
You know,
Too crazy for me.
What has happened?
so Chaplin was smart. Now he's not.
Uh, hey,
Sort of had his.
Can
I
we
mean, I don't know
fix
exactly what.
can we fix this?
Uh,
it is. I don't need to be fixed. I feel as best and better as ever.
I don't think so.
Um,
We really
what
need to
was I
get rid
running
of these
along to do
cards.
again?
Um, you were running along to become a lawyer.
Right, I wanted to be a lawyer. All right, bye guys. I gotta go practice the law. Bye bye. And he kind of wanders out, happy as can be.
I just stare at the deck.
If you think about it, there's less bad stuff in there now. All the bad. Japan's just ate all of the bad cards.
why do why do I still have this? Well, I suppose I could just bait other people to keep drawing them for me.
Uh, oh, he also did draw the money card.
That's
That
true.
was the first one I drew, wasn't it? Or
Yeah,
was it
Yeah.
cash one?
His luck has not held up since then.
No,
Etharrith, you want to draw a card?
no.
no. Plus, I'm pretty sure that you can draw the same card twice. So
No, you can't draw the same card twice. No.
really, I mean, it says in the description that the only cards that like if unless the card is the Fool or Jester, the card reappears in the deck, making it possible to draw the same card twice.
Oh no, bro.
So
I.
there's no safety.
Oh man. I thought there was a safety,
No, that's
but the
only
fool's gone at least.
yeah, only Fool or Jester come back are like gone.
On gone, yeah. Or we haven't drawn the fool yet, have we?
I think the Fool changed him into a lawful, wasn't it?
Changed him into law. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong deck. Or is this the old deck? Oh yeah, it does. Yeah, they've changed between the 2024 deck and the 20.
Yeah, I got the 2024 one.
Oh, they changed it from the idiot card to the puzzle card. That's so rude.
Puzzle is brutal.
Puzzle's brutal. I'll tell you guys what. If we're using the 2014 deck, which is what we are using, I guess. We'll say as he walks away, another card flips up from the deck, as I believe you take another one when you roll the idiot or the puzzle.
Puzzle says you can, you don't have to.
Oh, okay, never mind. Does he want to though? He's not that smart anymore. Yeah, he goes, yay, another, and he's gonna shot another one.
Oh
Sure.
no, no. Oh no.
Yee! He draws an additional one as it says you can. Uh, okay, I'll use the D100 thing on the 2014, and I'll use the cards from 2014 to make us complicated as possible. Oh my god. Oh my god. No, this is good. He draws the balance card, and as he draws the card, it vanishes, and he goes, "Wow, what was I thinking? Allah, stupid." And he falls to his knees and he goes, "No, glitter gold! I'm sorry!" And there is a shining bright light of gemstone colored lights upon him, and he becomes a cleric of glitter gold again. He goes, "I'm back, baby!" And he will retain his chaotic neutral alignment once more as the balance card turns him back into a chaotic neutral little guy.
Oh, good, I fixed him. Yay.
He goes, "Yay!"
He's still not quite as still a bit of an idiot, but I guess he's a lovable idiot now.
Hey, where's my bag of tricks? I want to pull, I want some, I want my animals back. Did I give it to one of you guys?
Yes. I don't
Okay,
remember
keep it.
who. No.
Actually, no, not the bag of tricks. I think it was just the mace and the cards.
That's right. Yeah,
That we
no, he
got,
should
not the
still have
bag.
the.
Oh, yay! He pulls them out, and a boar, a mastiff, and a lion appear. And he goes, "Yay!" And he jumps on the back of
Okay,
the lion and starts running around the room, smashing things.
Oh,
time to go.
yeah, we're we have things to discuss and take care of.
The doors fly open. He goes tearing down the hall. People are like, "Ah!" The dog's like, "Hoo, hoo." And Chaplin goes flying out into the street by the power of Gnarl Glitter Gold. A little stupider, but at least richer. And yeah, full of chaos.
Good. I'm glad he's back to his self.
All right. Well, let's go to a break. You guys have had a long day of whatnot. And I'll tell you what, as I believe, or I'll tell you what, yeah, Etharrith, I think it'll be you. Vivara said she was fine. You kind of lost track of Callistra in there somewhere. Like she kind of floated up, and personal, she got lost in the chaos. But what is interesting is as you're walking, you feel a little bulk in your coat or your bag, and you slip out the Ed and Yvonne's notebooks regarding the markings on their bodies. And Yvonne's notes on the creation of the shield generator. You'll probably need a skilled artificer to properly interpret the blueprints, but you have 2/3 of the puzzle to creating the weapon again, and you have the schematics for the shield generator. You just need somebody who's capable of building these things now.
He's really showing me up today. I wonder if that dwarf is still in the tavern where we left him.
But let's go to a break. There's much to be discussed, and we are at about that time, so we'll be back soon.
I'm just finishing making the cup of tea, so I am listening.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, we can get back to it. Sorry, this is a bit of a whirlwind, isn't it? Okay. Um, okay. Let's do this. Okay. So, you guys find yourselves outside the port. Your ship is being repaired, and you're you're free. 5,000 gold pieces richer. You've handed off the shield generator. Yvonne is dead. Your mission complete. This should settle the gang war that has been occurring, best of your knowledge. You find yourself in a maybe it hasn't figured itself out yet, but it will in time. Thessalos is free of its mad hunt for the artificer Yvonne Yord, and you are free of your captain, it seems. So, what would you all like to do now that you have a moment to breathe?
So, I think it's a good time to take stock, see what our next plans are, and then decide from there. Our end goal is still the same. But what do we do in between?
We aren't as we are, we can't take the profit. I don't know where to begin to start in that. We blocked him from getting his weapon through the easiest route. I don't know if he can figure out everything from the husk of the father or not.
I don't believe he can.
I think that was the aim of having both brothers with different tattoos so that only when they were all together were they able to do something. Putting the profit aside for a moment. Sorry, Etharrith.
I have the means to get us a shield generator of our own. We just need an artificer.
Okay. I believe we know of one artificer on the planet that knows.
That is also desperate to leave Thessalis entirely.
Well, I'm not adverse to leaving, but I believe we need to maybe recruit some people for the ship. We definitely need another Spelljammer. I know there's a few that may be able to take on that mantle.
Chaplain's friend can bosun, but we've had two and that's been useful.
Ah, yeah, the Hadozi hat.
above the table, just as a quick crew count, we have one Spelljammer, Avon.
So I'll go through, yeah. You have a bosun at Solar Sail. You have a Spelljammer in Aryan Thornfield. Then you have quite a number of just basic sailors. You have one, two, let's see here. Oh. Oh, these are your ship names, right? Sorry, let me restart that. You got one, two, where are the rest of them? 3 and 4. So you have 4 living crew hands, and then you have the exopoxy units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I believe one was destroyed.
Yeah, we lost one.
One
So we'll
was
see.
used to make the profit.
Yeah, so we will delete unit 6. You also have a cook in Marva Spice Hand. And you also have a weapons expert in Tharnax Boomstick, who claims to have developed some explosive rounds for you guys. And lastly, Tidewalker, who is sort of your underwater specialist.
Yeah.
Those who you have right now. I'm just going to make our lives simple and say that they've all been paid through the jobs that you sent them out on. They've basically just taken their payments from the hull. So make our lives easy there.
A backup Spelljammer will be needed, and another bosun would be valuable.
Will that give us the numbers to keep the ship functioning?
So let's think here. So
I feel like it was 19 was the magic number.
Mm.
well, one Spelljammer. So these are your basic necessities, just to like make sure all stations are made. You got one Spelljammer. You've got 5 for the mangonel, and then you have 3 ballistas, which 3, 6, 9, which is 9 people. So that ends up being 15 is the magic number to just keep the ship running in basic ability. Hassan, you function as an artillerist, so you take 1 off of that. So technically you need 14 basic sailors. Well, sorry, you need 13 basic sailors and 1 Spelljammer to keep the ship just running at bare minimum. You have your Spelljammer in Aryan. You certainly have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You certainly have your Mangonel personnel, which means you need 8 more individuals to man your ballistas. You've got 4 from basic hires. You've got Boomstick. So that means you need 3 more. As Rendell, you function as a commander, I believe.
I'm down as commander, yeah.
And Etharrith is the Auror.
Or
So 3 more basic crew members would be good for the manning of the ballista. You need plus 3 more individuals. And then you've got a bosun in that.
Let me ask you a question. Are you able to aura and command the ship? Are you able to spell jump if you took up the captaincy?
Couldn't do both at the same time.
You can. I'm not sure that's what you can.
Between focusing, I've never piloted the ship myself, though as a caster I can do it. It's more trying to concentrate on 2 spells at once is essentially the issue.
We should get, I think, another Spelljammer. I can do it also, but I cannot do that and shoot things.
Okay.
So you guys want 3 more sailors, another bosun, and another spelljammer. Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking to hire 5 new crew members. Cool.
Wait, I'm just looking through the list. Are we missing a gnome?
The
A
Spice
gnome?
Hand.
Spice Hand's
No,
a cook.
like
Oh yeah.
little like they were like a artifact expert.
She
Oh,
stayed,
yes.
didn't she?
Yeah, she left the ship, I'm pretty sure she
Hmm.
left.
Okay.
Good point, though.
That's where there's like I think like sure when we left
Hmm.
we had like enough people, where'd they all go? Besides, play characters.
And also you wanted to hire an artificer as well? You wanted someone to build?
Yes. And
Okay.
I'm gonna try and persuade the
Yeah.
only artificer I know, which is that sad, angry dwarf.
Well, he's got nothing. He's got nothing at the moment, has he? So, I mean,
Yeah, there's nothing going on
you
right
could
now.
play on that. Yeah, nothing going on right now. Yeah, so Spelljammer, Bosun, and 3 more hands. Because we're using the epoxy units for the mangonel and ballistas and the other crew, aren't we?
All right. Cool. So it sounds like Etharrith, you're gonna go track down that dwarf,
Yeah.
see if he's willing or around or whatever. And Basan and Arundel are gonna go try and hire out the rest of your crew.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Make our way to the dock. We can also grab whatever supplies we are needing at that time as well.
Okay. Sweet. So let's handle you first, Ethareth. You
Yeah.
um, make your way back to the inn in the entertainment district, and you find, uh, let's see, um, sure, yeah. You find the dwarf there. I got his name here. You find Bullock Thundersky, who is sitting around. I'll say he's a little drunk, actually. He's got nothing better to do, so he's just kind of drinking. And he's like his head in his hand, like that. He's looking quite deep in his drinks. There's a couple of ale empty cups on the table. And he's like kind of sleeping in his hand. You know, drool coming down his beard.
Kind of sit down in front of him and gently poke him with my staff.
Like, oh, 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 it's you. What do you want? What are you gonna do now with me?
Well, would you like to get an update on the current situation?
I'm not sure.
Yvonne's dead. Start with the good
What?
news.
I. Holy shit, Yvonne's dead?
Yeah, took a tumble off the mountain into an active thunderstorm.
Why, Zeus? Poor bastard.
Uh, my opinion on Yvonne as a person isn't particularly high. I understand why you didn't like him.
Uh, he's he was a real brat, but uh, he was a good guy, you know? He deserved that. Just got himself into a lot of trouble, that one.
Well,
Stupid boy.
speaking of trouble, you're essentially home free now, I would say. The Azure Vanguard have their shield generator, and anything else that Yvonne may or may not have been building doesn't exist.
So I'm free to go. No one's gonna try and dissect my brains or kidnap me or try and protect me.
To the best of my knowledge, no. But
Right? But what?
we find ourselves. Our artificer was our captain, and our captain is gone.
Gone.
Status unknown, but certainly not in a position to be captain anymore.
Mhm. I guess he took his brother's death pretty hard then, huh? I mean, that's fair. Poor lad. Well,
I have.
yeah.
You said you wish to leave Thessalis, yes?
Yep. Well, I will be getting out of here first chance I can get on an plane or ship.
Well, we find ourselves in dire need of a artificer, and you would fit the bill. So I'm offering you a job.
What? You want me to work for you after all that shit?
It's been a long day, so if you want to get away from here, travel, build some cool things. I hear our weapons expert has come to the spectacular realization that you can make crossbow bolts explode, or ballista bolts explode.
Doesn't sound very smart. He's just figuring that out.
Well, give him some credit. We come from a system where technology is a little bit behind.
Right. Sure.
Um,
So you want me to come and upgrade your ship then? That's what you want me to do.
Upgrade the ship, build us another shield generator.
You what? You want me to build after all of that nonsense, after all the almost getting my brain sucked out through the tube of a mind flare manable, getting kidnapped by the Lumina Collective, having you force me under your protection, all the other shit. You want me to build another one?
The Azure Vanguard have theirs now. It's all just out there. It'll propagate in no time, I imagine.
Fuck me. Yeah.
You can just say no. I truly can just ask someone else, but to be fair, you had a hand in the original's creation. I can't think of anyone else better suited to make another one.
Make me a persuasion check.
Sure.
It's a decent DC. He's been through a lot because of shield generators.
Yeah, 12.
12. He goes, well, I wish you the best of luck finding someone to make you that abominable fucking creation. But if I never hear the two words shield generator in the same sentence again, for as long as my hundreds of dwarven years take me, it'll be too fucking soon. So, enjoy your whatever it is you do. And I'm gonna go find a ship to Long Point I'm gonna find a nice volcano to kick my feet up next to, and I hope I'll never see a shield generator again as long as I fucking live.
Unfortunately, I imagine you'll spend the next week with the Azure Vanguard, proudly showing off all of their newly shielded ships, hummingbirds everywhere with little barriers around them. You'll hate it, I'm sure.
Thessalus. Fuck Thessalus. Fuck shield generators. Fuck great space for that matter.
Well, just for
Well,
today, I'll agree with you on all of that. Well, and since the answer's no, I won't bother you further. Have fun with all your drinks.
here's to you, you relentless lizard who looks very strong today. Goodbye.
Oh, that must have worn off ages ago. It's been way longer than an hour.
I know you look a little like a deflated balloon.
That's just how I normally look.
You should be careful about using performance enhancing potions, you know.
You know, in the past 2 days, I've died, bulked up.
Cut pretty fucking hard from the look of it.
Yes. I'm just about ready to commit terrible crimes, so I'm just going to go back to my ship and try to decompress.
Alright, just do it away from me. Have a lovely life. Whatever your name was.
Ethel doesn't even bother, like, in front of his name is, he just gets up and, like, sort of nods his head and leaves.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Make your way back to the ship. Bason and Arendil, it is recruitment time. Why don't you guys make me... I'll tell you what, one of you make me a persuasion check to make the job sound like a good one, and the other make me, let's say, an insight check to find some decent recruits who aren't just full of themselves.
Bisan should do the insight check.
Okay.
She should not do the persuasion check.
Okay. I'm 6 and 3 insight persuasion, so.
I've got a little bit of wisdom, but I've got no charisma.
Okay. Go on, and you go the insight. I'll go persuasion.
All right. So insight is.
Hold on. I'll tell you what. Just for the fun of it. Can I cast bless?
Well, bless is for saving throws and attack rolls.
Sorry, what am I thinking of? No,
guidance?
Yes, I had guidance before, didn't I? That's sorry.
Yeah, now you're a warrior guy.
I know, yes, I haven't got it. So I was just thinking that.
Sorry. So the first roll would have been was a 9 for a total of 10. That was a nat 20 for a total of 21. So hopefully Bisan can go that one.
Well, you're gonna be able to pick the good talent, that's for sure, and weed out the shitty ones. So you'll be doing real good in the interview. And as for bringing in people who don't want to interview who are good, how do you do there, Arendil?
Persuasion at advantage, yeah.
Nope, sure.
Yep, flat. 11.
11. Okay. You do pretty good. You do pretty good. You guys are going to definitely get some people to pick from. Alrighty then. Let's see here. So let us start with the Spelljammer candidates. First and foremost, you are confronted with Callian. Oh, that's a name and a half. Callianera Mistmind. She is a Triton sorcerer and a Spelljammer. She would have told you that she is descendant from a sea nymph, which is considered a minor god here. So she does have nymph blood in her veins. She was trained at one of the Thessalian academies known as Etherian Academy, which is a floating island city quite a ways away from where you are. She pilots ships by riding the astral currents with a dancer's grace. Is what she'll even like hand you like a recommendation letter from the academy from one of her professors who described her as such. She rides the astral currents like a dancer's grace. You can see that she's calm. She speaks with a certain poeticism. There's a sort of art the way she speaks, but she's kind of cryptic, a little hard to get a beat on. Even with your exceptional insight, there's parts of her that are really special. She also tells you that she is very good at detecting astral turbulence and storms before they appear, just by like sort of feeling the astral winds. It's sort of a sixth sense she expects from her lineage.
Good start.
So that is candidate number 1 out of 3. The second one is Hirax of the Comet Heart. He is a human wizard, and he is a fiery academic who was expelled from the Celestine Academium for reckless experimentation, which is what you will find out, Basan, by asking around. He maybe doesn't tell you that entirely. But after that, he became a self-taught pilot who is been sort of regarded as a very chaotic pilot, but none can deny its effectiveness. He's very unpredictable, but that usually ends up serving him well, especially in dogfights and when avoiding astral obstacles. So, despite his chaoticness, he is considered quite effective. But he is fiery, fiery, fiery. As he talks to you, he's brilliant, but you can tell he's an impatient guy. Basan, very smart, very overeager. He also tells you that he is a little bit of the Spelljammer skill that I think it was Chaplin had as far as a boasting goes, where he is able to sort of overcharge Spelljammer helms to gain a little extra speed in a pivotal moment. It's not something that I would say he's not as skilled a pilot as Ed was or a bosun as Chaplin was, but he does have this ability. So in a tight spot, he can overcharge Spelljammer helms, which is pretty cool. Lastly, there is Sophis Tarva, but she goes by Moonwell. She is an Eladrin bard. They are an Eladrin bard, apparently non-binary. They are on a wandering sky singer, and who believes that ships are living entities and speaks with them through music during piloting. She guides her ship by sort of singing to the Spelljammer helm rather than directly influencing it with their pure magical ability like a sorcerer or by calculating arcane arithmetic like a wizard. She instead sort of almost like lulls and sings a ship into action. She's very mellow. She's very charming, and there is a sort of mythical otherworldly presence to her, as most Eladrin have. Sorry. They also are able to grant a little extra boost to Spelljammer helms while she's doing performance. So she is, because of this sort of treating the Spelljammer like a living person, she does have a slight edge over other Spelljammers because she connects with them on a higher level, in a personal level even. Those are your 3 Spelljammers. You've got Moonwell, you've got Hirax, and you've got Kallianaria. Who do you hire?
They're just off to the side of them. To be honest, out of the 3 of them, I don't want the wizard. Sounds like a dick. To be fair.
The second one?
Yeah.
No, he's I think
Okay,
a
fine.
poor fit for the
He's gone.
yeah, no, not no, yeah. The
How,
impatient part will be
yeah.
a problem.
Yeah, definitely. I was pretty keen on the sorcerer. Or sorceress, sorry.
The sea nymph,
Yes.
yes.
I think that I think she's got a little bit more than what the bard has. Yes, she can overcharge, but I think the astral navigation of it would help a little bit more.
Both are useful. Our current Spelljammer is a solid pilot for combat situations. Having someone who is good in a storm, I think, would be advantageous. So yes,
So Calendra.
Calandra.
I will post her names since you're hiring her and all. Her name is in chat.
I hope she and Tidewater are friends.
Yes.
Alienera.
Sorry.
Nope, all good. So you meet her. I'll have to find a mini because I've used my one Triton mini I have across everything. Maybe there'll just be two of that kind of Triton. But anyway, you meet her. She's very pretty. She's very, very pretty. Clearly that sort of nymph blood remains strong in her veins, at least in physical appearance. She definitely has, like I said, a calm poeticism to her, like almost like the tide in the evening. She has as many secrets as the sea, but she's calm as the evening tide, and there's a certain poeticism to her that comes from her mythic background. She says, "Well, thank you. I will report to your ship. I will meet it, and I will meet your other Spelljammer I hear you have. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity."
Welcome.
She will sort of bow, and we'll just kind of leave.
We should try to re-outfit our weaponry and such while we are here. I don't know where we're going to fight the Prophet, but there's no questioning that their ship's weaponry is superior to what we're using right now.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get the crew sorted and then we can ask around. We'll go and speak to the captain and see what he thinks as well. See whether he's got the artificer on board.
Excellent. Well, I think I'll probably go. Okay, so what would you like to do next? Do you want the list of sailors, or do you want the list of bosun?
We'll just head down the line. We'll go to bosun and do the sailors last. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sailors next, is what I believe you said.
Yes.
So you've got. Oh, hang on. Let's see here. You got a couple. There's definitely more here than there are Spelljammers and bosun, as sailors are much easier to find. In fact, I'll tell you what, if you want, I could be very basic about them. We can skip that, because sailors are like a dime a dozen. They're, you got a couple of good recruits here. I can make it very easy for you, or you could get into detail, your choice.
I think
sailors are basic recruits. They're like basic, like
these are.
You tie a knot.
Are
These
we
are labor
looking
hands.
for just sailors, or are we looking for people that are sort of proficient with weapons?
We need 3 sailors just to keep everything going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
With that in mind, these sailors can help maintain the basics of the ship and deal with weaponry. So these guys have the basic skills required to be a part of the crew.
Yeah, just pick 3.
Yeah.
3 names, because it doesn't matter really then, does it?
All right, I'm gonna start. I'm probably just gonna pick a common mini for your sailors at this point.
That's fine.
Make all life easy. Honest, I'm not trying to keep track of 100 names. I'll deal with that in due time. But you hire 3 additional sailors. Very cool. Uh, what do we got? How about we use? I always like the dwarf mini, but he's got like this anchor tattoo on his belly. I think that's a great general representative for basic sailors. Sailors, you have 4. You're hiring 3 more. So times 7. Shit. Okay, I'll do a little cleaning up later of minis, but he represents your basic sailors going forward. Okay, so let's just move on to your bosuns. You've got 3 to choose from. First and foremost, what the fuck is that?
That's not good.
I think it's a race that I'm not. Oh, okay, yeah. You guys are faced with a creature I don't think you've ever seen before. The Spelljammer campaign is a campaign full of really, really strange races, and this is no exception. You come upon Vulcan Sharpreef, who looks in every bit like a catfish, a human-shaped catfish. He walks around on. He's bipedular, so he has these like flat, almost beaver tail-like feet that are like fins, and arms that are like these tiny little arms. Think of it like a reverse mermaid. It's kind of like I'm just gonna send you a picture. It's so fucked. I don't even know how to begin. This race bugs me a little bit. I know that's literally racist, but I can't help it. It's a weird creature. Okay, this guy walks up. Oh, fuck. Okay, you're gonna have to click on the link, but I'll try and send it in Facebook as well. Facebook. Holy fuck, Facebook. Okay, here we go. Okay, there he is in Facebook. Without the seal beaver thing. Look at that.
Okay.
So this thing walks up to you. In true Star Wars fashion, some random alien you've never seen before. His name is Vulcan Sharpreef, as I said. He is a male, and apparently he's a warrior. His body doesn't look very warrior-like, but apparently he's a warrior. He says that he is a veteran of the Coral Trident Mercenary Company, who was discharged after leading a mutiny against a cruel captain. That's what the word is. He is guff, but seems to be loyal to his crew first, and but he's very stern. So this is like this ridiculous fish creature walks up to you and he's like, and his voice is ridiculous, of course, too. His personality is very gruff, but he's like, I'm a veteran of the Coral Trident Mercenary Company. I led a mutiny against my captain because he was cruel and did not treat the people well. He hoarded his wealth, and, well, that is unacceptable. So we rallied a mutiny against him, and I accepted the consequences when I got back to shore. I hope you understand that I care about the fair treatment of my crew first, and that is what I value most, but I guarantee you that I am a solid warrior and even better bosun. A little overwhelming. He also says, I also have a strict no singing on deck rule, except during feast days, for the sake of everybody being able to relax in their own measure. Very important that people get the downtime they need between whatever bouts might come about in an astral sea. The next is Tymandra Steelvoice. This is a dwarven paladin of Hermes. Oh, fuck that. He's a paladin of Hephaestus, because the bosun, of course. Oh, no, because travel, Hermes. Okay, no, I take it all back. We'll stick with it. She is a dwarven paladin of Hermes. Tymandra Steelvoice tells you that she was raised in this city. She's a local. And she was raised in various merchant fleets, but this was always her home. She believes in discipline to ensure prosperity, but her life has largely been on the road. While the city is considered her port of call, she spent more time in the wild space than she has planet side in her life, by far. She's jovial, she's fun, but she is solid. From what you hear around people, when combat or trouble strikes out, she is steel solid, much as her last name provides. She's not one to buckle under pressure. She is as courageous a bosun or crewman as you'll ever find. She's also skilled at delivering what she calls inspirational punishments. When people don't perform their duties correctly, she basically like insults them in front of the crew, and it's in a sort of vicious mockery kind of way. So while it does like kind of put that crewman in a place, it does kind of make the rest of the crew laugh and raise morale, and it does create that sort of a bit of a bully atmosphere of like, oh, you fucked up, we're all going to laugh at you now. You don't want to get laughed at, do better. But it does raise the morale for the rest of the crew to overcome any sort of troubles or mistakes that might have happened. While it seems like a strange thing you do hear around, that it does seem to generally work, as unusual as a tactic as it is for morale boosting. Um, so that's her. Lastly, you meet a tiefling rogue by the name of Xantos Red, who is very skilled with his hands and is a former courtier who reformed after a brush with death during an astral squall. He knows every trick sailors pull because he's pulled them first. So he's basically a reformed pirate. And he is very sly, very cunning, very pragmatic, but is ardently reformed and is very, despite this sort of clear sort of cunningness and slyness that you get from it, it very much has the politeness and upfrontness of someone who's genuine about their reformity. Very, very directly answers questions, very politely answers questions, very, very formal. They also tell you that they're very skilled at finding stowaways, catching thieves and slackers long before anybody notices. And because of this, they're able to very subtly keep the ship moving at maximum pace. So those are your 3 choices for bosuns.
Isan will say to Arundel when they've got a moment, I really like the Corsair, but I feel like there would eventually, at some point, be a problem.
I was thinking the same thing.
I like the dwarf.
I like the dwarf as well. We can work on their tactics, shall we say? Yeah, another healer in that as well. Yeah, dwarf.
Yeah, like I love the Corsair, but that's going to be a problem eventually.
Possibly. I mean, can I roll an insight check onto how his reform, how much his reform has actually taken? As in, is he stoic in that, or is it a front?
Maybe an insight check.
Oh, come on. Jesus Christ.
Well, Basan, 6, yeah. Well, Basan, you rolled 20. You rolled like really good insight. So I'll hand it over to you. We'll use that. From what you can tell, Basan, and from the interview, they are very upfront about it. They're like, I want you to know before you hear from anybody else. I was a corsair. I did the things I'm not proud of today. They explain, like, I realized when I nearly died that if I had to die, I wished to die for something better than just selfishness. And I've spent a lot of time working on myself, and I hope that can be of some use to you. And he's very, very genuine, very polite. You detect that his reform is very genuine. It would take some pretty, like, he's as reformed as anybody.
Bisan will convey that to.
Yeah, you're confident in his reform. Like, you would be you'd stake it. You'd stake your abilities and insight over it.
Honestly, above the table, I prefer the tiefling to the dwarf, but I get what you're saying. So,
It's your choice. It's entirely your choice. I'm just giving you the result of your check that
mhm.
despite their skills they take from their past life, they're genuine in their reform.
Above
But take whatever you
above
want.
the table, so do I. But I'm like,
I'll tell you what,
I deeply
Xantos.
worry that we would be able to toe the lines that we toe the way we toe them and never run afoul of his ethics, even though I would very much like to.
Do you question him on this?
Um, no, because she feels like she's got a handle on that. She's addressing this to Arundel kind of quietly.
Okay.
Do we think it's worth a potential problem with the rest of the crew if we have to do something that is considered extra legal?
Well, the thing is, I mean, from the moment that I stepped foot on the Prophet's demise, it's been a case of the crew have followed suit from whatever we've done. Some of it was very questionable.
It will be less questionable with him, but perhaps we will have less flexibility. Etharrith will almost certainly feel constrained at some point or another.
Okay. The dwarf. The dwarf it is.
Just to make this as hard on you as possible, the tiefling says that he understands, and he will stand up and shake both of your hands politely, and says to keep him in mind should you all change your mind, and will be very polite about it, but he'll take his leave.
Mm-hmm.
The dwarf is very happy. She says, "I have been planetside for far too long. It's good to get back out there. I appreciate your confidence. Well, I'll find my way to your ship, and we'll get to it." And with that, Tymandra Steel Voice has joined your crew. I was super into the tiefling too.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, above the table it would have been the tiefling all day long, but
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah, I get it.
100%.
Yeah,
But I'm trying to prevent problems, and the dwarf had a thing. They were good with morale and a fun personality, and we've lost Chaplin. We should have some fun.
Absolutely. All right then. With that, you have hired. Well, we'll say at this point, after you catch up, as your meeting hasn't gone as well as you'd hoped. And yeah, you catch up with the party after they've finished recruiting people they need.
Well, you seem to have had more success than I.
I take it didn't go too well then.
Not that I blame him. He heard the word shield generator and, well, that pretty much sealed it as a hard no.
Maybe we find someone and make sure they're steady with us before we suggest we could have them build such a thing?
I suppose, although I suppose within the next few weeks, every Azure Vanguard ship will be decked out with one, so given time, it'll be common tech among great space.
He goes, unless they put it for themselves.
Do we want to find other jobs to re-outfit the ship with better weaponry, etc.? We should certainly not return to Rock of Brawl without better weapons.
Getting back across the astral sea might mean.
I'm in no
Should we
rush.
go? No. I do believe we should refit at least the weaponry on the ship.
Well, I believe Boomstick had some plans of his own as far as technological upgrades, explosive upgrades.
What about they were for essentials laser cannons type things that Ed had pointed out at one point?
We could make inquiries if they're within our price range. We did just get paid, so maybe.
Do we have anything specific to do right now in regards to our objective?
Not that I can think of. We haven't got any immediate tasks. I think everything that we had when we first came here, we've done and achieved.
And decking out the ship might be a good objective.
Let's go and find out some prices of what we can do. Maybe we could even find some sort of armor on the way. What say you, Captain?
I feel like look up like I think today has been difficult and that a lot has changed very quickly. So for the rest of today, we do nothing. The day is yours to spend as you wish. I need time to settle into this new state of affairs. And tomorrow we can take care of inquiries into upgrades for the ship and any potential new work for raising whatever funds we may require. But today, I think I am due. I need time.
Fair enough. May I suggest giving the rest of the crew leave to go and enjoy themselves for the evening and report back in the morning?
Yes, I would say so. They've been actively working while we've been here, so I think they've earned themselves a break as well.
Very good. If you are heading back to the ship, you shall meet our new recruits.
We can show the new recruits around, although they'll need to be made aware that there'll be a bit of a wait before we set sail again.
No problem. Yeah, I'll take care of that, and I'll go back to the ship and tell them after we're finished.
Okay. You do so, Rendell, easily. You make your way back to the ship. You find the many crew members, and you're all getting acquainted, and find yourself happily perhaps back on the Prophet's Demise after some time. And let everybody know that it is shore leave time, and everyone will happily indeed take that time to themselves to wander in the Thessalis and enjoy its splendors. I should update you guys on how much it costs to run this puppy, because we've got quite a few recruits now. The APOX units are like, yay, and just deactivate entirely for however long for leave is.
So they're on permanent watch cycle, as in
Yeah.
taking turns. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
They don't think they need it. Okay, so we've got. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna slash one of your. I'm gonna make sure I get this right. You got 4. 4. You count as 5 Bason. And I said. And then there's Tidewalker. Okay, yeah, no, I got it right because Tidewalker is considered an artillerist. That's why you also hired me. And Cornfield, Boomstick, at, and then you've just got 4 plus 3 for 7, 3, 14 silver pieces a day at this point. And now you've got a couple new hands aboard who are all going to be the 2 gold rate. I think your Spelljammer will be 3. She's pretty good. So that's going to be Bosun is an additional 2 gold. Put your Spelljammer here. Put all their information in later. Spelljammer. She's going to be 3 GP. And you haven't hired an artificer, so that will be that. I'm just going to bring your daily cost to I'll check on that. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 6, 12, 15 plus 15, 16. 16 gold, 4 silver is your current daily rate. But as usual, we'll just take that all up at the end of a week.
Fair enough.
Cool. All right, fantastic. So you guys are taking the day off. What are you guys doing to take that time off?
Just a question on that, right? AC wasn't doing anything regarding or keeping notes of what was being spent on the ship and have anything like that, did he?
No, he had theorized about sort of energy weapons. He had been talking about that, but he never actually developed anything.
No, I meant as in with the running of the ship. You've been doing it. AC didn't have anything that you were
like the bookkeeping and such.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm gonna
Sorry,
say Arian has been keeping track of the bookkeeping. He's been functioning as a sort of quartermaster, and I say quartermaster in the sense of like the advocate for the crew and sort of like management and stuff like that. So I'll say that if you wish to access it at any time, he's got a book that he keeps.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure that we weren't, if it was down to one of us to do, we can do it. So
Understood.
that was all. That's fine.
Okay. Fantastic. So what's everyone up to? You guys have the rest of the day. I'll say that there's you got you woke up, climbed a mountain, did all this with Azure Vanguard. So you have the evening and maybe the next day. Sounds like you might want to have an extra day in there. So, what would you all like to do this evening?
Etharrith will go to the cult.
After we go to the cult, who else is going where? I just want to get a tab on where everyone's going.
I most probably will pay the cult a visit at some point, but most probably hit the bars first, or no, sorry, the temple first.
Temple.
Temple
Okay.
first, and then off to the cult.
Yeah. So you'll probably find Etharrith there sometime later, as you went to the ship and then the temple, and then where's Etharrith directly. Hassan, what are you up to for the rest of the day?
I think she wants to go someplace pretty and draw.
Someplace pretty and dry. Fair enough. Plenty of pretty places in Thessalis. Do you wish to go somewhere beautifully natural or beautiful in the city?
I want to
Or
go
maybe beautiful people.
I would like to go someplace where there's joy and laughter, where people are kind of like life being beautiful. That's what she wants to capture.
Okay. Make me an investigation check to find the beauty of humanity here in Thessalis.
It wasn't a great roll, but it's not terrible. 12.
Well, without much difficulty, you ask to find beauty, and so you are referred to the Temple of Beauty. You find your way into it sort of gets close to the entertainment district, but it is sort of more to the edge of the temple district at the same time. And you find yourself in this beautiful temple space, like the Temple of Zeus is like high on a hill atop the other temples. The Temple of Athena is close to the Luminary district, where it's very there's sort of almost like a place of learning, or it's attached to a place of learning almost. But this place sits on the border between the civilization, the entertainment, and the nature. And you find this gorgeous temple built like all the others, tall marble pillars, the vaulted ceiling, the wide interior space. But what's more interesting is that it's not like any of the other temples. The inside is plush. It has lovely seating. It's burning incense not only for tribute, but for smell, for delicate smell. There is wine. There is laughter. There are normal people, some noble, some not, but normal people. And there are very beautiful people of the clergy. Well, I wouldn't call them clergy exactly. They are not dressed very clergy-like. They're dressed with great beauty that pays homage to the natural human form, or the natural form, showing off the curve of a woman, showing off the sort of cut strength of a man. And they talk and have a good time, and maybe play with each other's hair and stroke the cheek. There's a flirtation, but there's a kindness as well. Music is played, and some people do this on the inside, but other people's take part in the lawns. There's beautiful lawns and gardens that surround this place, beautiful flowers. There is pavilions where people dwell. There's like little pools where some of these people who work at the temple, gorgeous people who work at the temple, and people who come to pray and have a good time, frankly, swim. This isn't only a place of like flirtation and promiscuity, which is what it has been largely, as you've seen brothels and whatnot in other worlds, Basan. But there's something about this place that is supple, and it's about more than that. It's about it's about communication and understanding and music and art and yeah, enjoying each other's like beauty, like looking at each other's beauty and enjoying, the sight of a little skin, but in an artistic enjoyment rather than like a purely sultry expression. And nature mingles with just the physical beauty of youth. And it's a lovely place to be. No one comes up to you and like tries to coax you into their bed. You are maybe given a polite wave by certain people who wander here or there, trying to receive permission if you wish to indulge in that. But clearly, you wish to speak to yourself and maybe draw a little bit. And you find a beautiful spot in the sun, next to this pond where there is a pavilion on the edge of the water showing a gorgeous, beautiful woman, almost nude, the marble seeming to be almost real as it almost wetly clings to her form, and nude youths swimming in the pond, laughing and playing and making music and drinking and having a good time. And it's peace and life and all the things, not all the things, but many of the things that make fighting and money and war and all this stuff what it's all fought for, love and beauty.
Yeah, she just lost another captain, and uh, a crewmate that I mean she loved is gone in a strange way she doesn't really understand. So she just wanted to surround herself in beauty, and she's going to hang out with her owl and practice her drawing and try to do homage to the beauty that she sees on paper.
Absolutely. Um, it has been, you can't help but be reminded of your time with the Gitsurai. They they don't forbid attachment, the Gitsurai. They dissuade attachment, but they don't obey it. As they seek enlightenment, that means detachment from the material world, and that does include, vanity and such. And this is clearly a place of vanity, as beautiful as it is. That isn't to say that as a Gitsurai, you were regarded with similar interest. You see these like men, old and young, sort of regarding these youthful acolytes with lust and excitement for their beauty. And you realize it feels like it's been some time since you've been just sort of largely regarded as attractive by the people around you while you're with the Gitsurai. Um, by Gith standards, you you think you are, you know you are. But here you are a terrible and terrifying looking alien. And you recall perhaps the eye of Saeed wandering across you here and there over the last couple of weeks. And it's just an atmosphere you've not been a part of for some time, and perhaps the idea of beauty, the fleetingness of it, comes to you as you draw. And appreciate it while it's here, like the flowers.
Exactly.
Excellent. Okay. Etharrith, let's have you. You head to the cult of Hecate. Innocent as ever. As you walk alone. For the first time in a while, you've had Navara by your side ardently. Kalanestra has been a boon the last while, but you walk through the slums alone. You find your way there, and you see the uh, the gatekeeper, Tiefling, who regards you quietly as you pass through the illusory wall into this dark crypt that houses the cult, which is much fuller now, and is fuller with celebration. It's not boisterous, it's not like wild or anything, but things are a little more chill around here. People aren't reading, people are drinking, people are talking and celebrating. This is very much a sort of religious uh a religious moment, a religious celebration, if anything. So the cultists do seem to be in a bit of frivolity, drinking, laughing, making merry. It's strange to see these dark witches having basic merriment in their lives. Is there anything you would do, anyone you would seek?
Seek out Callistra.
Okay. You look for Callistra. Um, she is not hard found. She is in the main room. She's the cool kid in school, here, being the demigod and all. And she is surrounded by a number of the various witches who are chill, celebrating, having some wine. And you find her, and she sees you and smiles.
Ether sort of tries to like force a smile, but it just doesn't come.
Tilts her head, and she will approach you. Um, she says, "Sad that he didn't live."
No, I think that it was always going to end that way. Being the captain of that ship, of that crew, is, well, seems a fast way to meet an early end. And it would seem that I am next.
You are aboard a cursed ship that likes to slay its captains.
Indeed.
Have you considered finding someone you don't care about to be your captain? Sounds like the history of your ship is that you all find yourselves liking someone enough, make them captain, and then they die. Maybe the key is to find someone who's good at their job, and that's that.
Well, I like me, but I don't know if everyone else likes me, so maybe things will be different since I'm captain now.
You're the captain now. Well, can I ask you something before we continue on with this dreary conversation about how you're destined to die now that you're captain? Why, if you thought that Yvonne was going to die, did you fight so hard to try and ensure that he lived, especially against the cult?
The vision I was given, the vision, the duty I was shouldered with from the moment of my creation was to guide Ed Jord to the Prophet for a final climactic battle to be witnessed by our mother. She so dearly wanted this story to have its bombastic conclusion. So I did not put any value in Yvonne's life insofar as that if he died, the captain would be unfit to continue. No captain means no battle between the bearer of the forbidden tattoos and the illithid that would seek to wield them. A bit anticlimactic, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I suppose so. I suppose so. Well, if you thought he was going to die, you very skillfully navigated your people's feelings about it. You have my congratulations. You walked the crossroads well.
And yet it feels like I've walked them terribly.
There's no wrong way to walk, Etharrith. The only true failing is to walk at all. Stagnation is what Hecate detests.
Of that I'm well aware. Up until now, I've. Well, actually, when I think about it, there have been many moments where I've come to regret my decisions I was so very confident in, and then I find that they were a horrific mistake.
Hmm.
I don't know what is going to be asked of me from now on. Ed is gone. Whether he survived the fall of the research thing, I don't know. If he did, he serves our mother now. If he didn't, well, I suppose he's gone to meet Hades.
Hmm. Can I tell you a secret between me and you?
By all means.
She leans in very close and she says, the pact was sealed. I don't know where. I don't know what. I don't know how. I do know a pact was made.
It was the best I could come up with. A third road.
It was very exciting.
But whatever road awaits him now is only for him to walk. I can't go. I can no longer accompany him.
You have diverged paths.
I'm waiting for a sign, an indication of what my role in all of this now is. Do I remain with the rest of the crew and continue with this struggle against the Illithid, or has my part ended and do I remain here?
What do you want? It's your crossroads. Or do you require a torch?
I was not I was not born with self-direction in mind. I was born with a goal, an intention to be well, to now have that goal and intention distorted, even taken away from me. It's discomforting.
To have your own decisions.
There have been many moments traveling with that crew that I have been immeasurably frustrated and angry and tired. But I love to see the stars pass by as we fly across. Well, when the whole universe is ours to explore, I feel happy, basking in moonlight, far closer to me than I would ever find planetside.
Hmm.
But here also feels like home among those who share my faith.
So,
Those who will not scoff, scowl, or deride me for callousness, I suppose.
hmm. So, then perhaps that's where your path continues to lie. That path has been handed to you, Captain Etharrith. Would it be so bad?
What would you do in my shoes if you were walking my road, faced with these choices? What would you take?
She leans back, says, Rendell has a very cute butt.
Oh, is that what cinches is?
Maybe. I've never really seen myself as a captain, that's a lot. But what's so bad about traveling? I mean, it's up to you. It's not up to me. We could hold a ritual if you wish. There are many rites that the cult of Hecate knows, sacred rites for, well, first and foremost, seeking the protection of Hecate to ward off evil curses if you really think the captain's chair is going to take your life. We could also perform a night vigil. It will require some degree of nudity, but we will be able to gather the divination powers of Hecate.
I have my own means of reaching her. Although the strange pool I used earlier was an interesting experience. I know of a means to converse with her directly.
Very well. Try not to be too depressed. You've achieved much. And we're celebrating today the death of Yvonne, the death of the stone artificer, just as Hecate prophesied. Not that it's really her thing. She technically prophesied both outcomes, but we're still celebrating.
You know what gets me the most?
What gets you the most, brother?
I was so dedicated to this alternate path only to be instrumental in achieving the exact opposite.
She works in funny ways.
I've always sort of felt like the master of my own destiny, that my decisions are a winding river of intention working towards something. It branches here and there, but the overall trajectory is sound. And today has been a lesson in no matter what my intent is, sometimes it really is just a foregone conclusion, and fighting it was wasted time and effort.
Nonsense. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense up here. I killed Vaughn. And of course that makes me the hero of the cult. But I happen to have noticed someone turning their head. Inaction is still inaction, I think. You can claim that Hecate intended something and you fought fate and you couldn't win and all of that. And that is true, the Fates are a powerful force. Indeed, perhaps the most powerful force. Perhaps Yvonne was always intended to die. But you did decide to let me go through it. You did choose your path. And you could have stopped me. You deny it?
I merely look back and think that I should have just incinerated the Yvonne on site. That is what has been so irritating this entire journey. This constant, ever present need to hold back. So many problems could be solved in a heartbeat with a snap of my fingers and fiery death. But I can't afford to be short-sighted. I'm now captain, and so what I say goes. But if what I say is too unpalatable, I'll soon find myself slain by my own subordinates.
They do have a funny way of slaying their captains. You and Kelly did.
I've always felt restricted. And being captain now feels like the restrictions are even greater.
Then give the captainship to someone else. Rendell's all Zeus this, Zeus that these days.
Never. Not a Rendell. Not now with the Zeus. As a paladin of Zeus, I find that I understand Mother and Zeus get along well, but
They get along famous.
I'm a distinctly unjust individual. And I have a sense that would clash under his leadership. And it may clash under my captainship as well.
Oh, goodness. So what are you to do? If a Rendell leads, he will seek justice. Well, I don't know why. I mean, Zeus is not the god of justice. Yeah, he kind of is, I suppose. God of kings, and kings are supposed to be just, and so on and so forth. But whether he is captain or you're captain, your ideals are going to clash. How, pray tell, do you intend to resolve that? Have command over him? If he is the chosen of Zeus, he's going to have to do what he wants to do in the end, or thinks is right in the end.
I will
Maybe.
perhaps do what Ed Jor did for me. The captain tended to turn something of a blind eye to my more unsavory impulses. It wasn't total freedom, but he would allow a certain level of, if he didn't see it, if he didn't witness what I did, that was enough. So I will try to be lenient with whatever judgments Miranda wishes to pass.
I just think the symmetry of Arendelle leading, being a follower of Zeus, and you making your pacts and your deep dark deals behind the scenes would be very fitting of Hecate. I think the symmetry would be very poetic, narratively. But if you've been elected captain, then maybe we should perform some rite to ward away curses of Captain Leon demise.
Honestly, sister, I have no idea what I've been doing for the past however long it's been since I was created. It's been a constant experience of winging it, truly, and I know that maybe it's supposed to be an opportunity to have this freedom to choose what I get to do with myself, but right now I could do with just a little bit of certainty and guidance, just something to stave off the feeling that I'm constantly skirting the drain. I already died once.
So maybe the curse is broken. You're a captain who's already died.
Maybe. But I will test my luck with Mother Dearest and see if she can't illuminate the intention behind this wielding of one prophecy to bring about another.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. A leader without a point to follow. Well, I don't know much about leadership. I just know that you've got a big old turtle, and it's all yours. Things could be worse, Etharrith. You've come here, you've proved it well. I guess your side of the prophecy can come true. But the cult of Hecate is happy and united again. Yvonne and Ed are out of the picture. Their little plans for astral death, the colossal scale are gone. Life is good. Allow life to be good sometimes.
I do raise
So
my
blame
eyebrows as
me.
their plans still of destruction are gone. I'm like, I know what she did. I know what she gave me.
He goes, oh. Well then, the idea of anyone else being able to destroy planets except you know, for now.
I don't think of myself as a planet destroying type.
I like, maybe it's in my blood, but I just like giving people decisions. That's what crossroads are all about. I've given you another decision. Burn them for all I care. I'm just curious to see what you'll do.
Unfortunately, sister, I very much inherited that obsessive feeling of when you're handed great power, you cling to it with a vice grip. Is it not the way of us witches? Someone
Not
offers us,
necess-
offers us great power, magic, and we grasp at it with everything we've got.
Not necessarily. Well, there's different kinds of power. You really want to govern, which is what a captain is, the type of governor. I don't want to govern. I like power, and I like power through magic wands. I like my power down a sieve of dark energy. That is my kind of power. And there is indeed power, Esther, in the shadows, which is where we dwell now. Hecate, she's not a god of light. She's a god of darkness.
I think I know what I want.
You do? What is it? Tell me.
I
You can
want
tell me.
I want to become a guide through that darkness. Not a light as such, but maybe a sign, maybe something that can navigate it.
Hmm.
I'm already an aura. It's fitting, is it not?
You are Nora. Well, it's funny. I was going to give you a gift, and it all seems so fitting. Perhaps Hecate is wiser than we know. She'll take your hand, and she will place in your hand a ring. And this ring is a rather strange one. It has an eyeball fixed in the center of it, and a number of diamonds that surround that eye like eyelashes. The eye is uncanny in its similarity to appearance of a regular eye. It is, when you touch it, it's stone or metal or gemstone, but it is uncanny how much it looks like a normal eye. And the rest of the ring is brass. She says, well, a guy needs to see, and I've had this for some time. This is a ring of X-ray vision. What X-ray means, I have no idea, but it allows you to see through solid matter. It allows you to see things other people cannot. So, maybe you'll be a better guide now still.
Thank you, sister. And
I was going to give you something. Oh, right, I was going to give you these two as like a sort of funny kind of Pikachu gift. Let's see here, which one was it? Oh, yes, here they are. And she goes through her little bag and she pulls out a small baggie and puts it in your hands. And she sees and says, these are exceptional. I've been cultivating them for a long time. These are black ghost orchid seeds. Now, it's taken a few years to colonize them, but I have. Very excited about it. Basically, if you eat one, you'll appear to be dead. I thought it was fitting, considering everything that happened today.
well, you know what? Thank you. I can't think of an immediate use for them, although if you're a really, really good night's sleep, I
Indeed. There's always a use for looking like you're dead when you're old.
well, I wish I had something to give in return.
Oh, you've given me such an adventure in return. You know, I could always come with you and make people walk off balconies who get in the way of your captainly authority. Maybe the problem with your past captains is they didn't have the loyalty of their crew, trust in their leadership. And, well, you will not gain these things probably also because, you know, you're a murderer and all. I'll at least be there, and I can kill whoever tells you no.
I could certainly use someone who will walk someone off a balcony for me.
uh,
If you wish to join us in the stars, you're more than welcome.
Fine, but I'm not working. I'm not a sailor. And I'll need a nice room.
I mean, I'll be moving into the captain's old room so that you can have mine. So, unfortunately, a ship is a ship. We're not working in the lap of luxury here.
Well, maybe we'll have to do something about that. But, regardless, we'll figure it out. Alright, fine. I'll come with you. You've convinced me after all this time. I can't have you becoming captain and then getting killed by your crew. Mother would be displeased.
Imagine the crew was going to hate us both. Being led by two dark witches.
I know, it's going to be so much more fun than being led by some brainy stone person who gets sick every second day.
Have to really hammer home our demigod status to try and balance out the scales. Yes, we're witches, but we're also halfway divine. That's got to count for something.
Oh, it counts for something. Indeed, indeed. We'll make it work. It'll be me and you. I'll be your first. Oh, I can't say first lady, can I? That's not good. No, it's thing. I'll be your. Enforcer feels like the wrong word too. I will be your occultic advisor.
Oh, perfect. And incidentally be able to keep a Rendell in something of a leash.
Speak of travel. At which point a Rendell appears. But we are reaching towards the end of our
Yeah.
session.
Of
But
course, I would like end it off with like that, and that
yeah.
conversation off with like Etharrith kind of bidding his sister farewell and just warping into the astral sea with the River Stars.
Oh, okay. He goes, oh, hi, Rendell, and you. Oh my
Literally just see him go.
or probably more fittingly, you just like enter the astral sea to your robes, and she's just like, like completely normal stuff. You know, that's a totally normal thing people do. So you will walk into the astral sea, and Arundel, you'll be greeted by Kalanestra. But that is where we'll end our session, and you will level up. You finally did it.
Oh my god.